Hey, everybody, welcome. We're starting a new adventure that we're kicking off today. Welcome to our homebrewed adventure, Factions of Fate. This is part one of a three-part introductory that will lead each character to the starting point. In these three introductory adventures, you'll get the opportunity to experience how I set up a campaign by focusing on a short adventure with a small number of the total cast of characters. Before moving on, please, I want to ask everybody to like and subscribe. We're a small channel, so your clicking on that button really helps us immensely. Our goal is
very likable.
Yeah, our goal is to reach 500 subscribers, and we just really can't do that without you helping out. So I appreciate you doing that. Also, anytime during this episode, if you want to throw some comments below, the algorithm likes the comments. So we don't have a lot of people commenting, so feel free to ask questions. Razz some of us for our bad decisions, whatever you like. Any comment is a good comment for the algorithm. All right, since this is our version of session 0, we're planning on taking time during this adventure to ask questions by both players and me. So during this intro phase, we may be a little slower than regular game. All characters begin at level 9 for this campaign. As such, I'm sure I'm going to have some questions, and they probably will too. So let's just go. Factions of Fate brings back 3 characters from our previous Lost Mine of Phandelver game with 3 new characters. Each of these introductory adventures pairs an old character with a new one. Though it's awesome if you've enjoyed our homebrewed Lost Mine of Phandelver game, I'll make sure anything that we bring back from that game will be explained in detail. So I don't anticipate you needing to necessarily know anything specifically about that game to do this one. All of the storyline is fairly new. There may be old characters, but that's it. So you don't need to have to watch that to enjoy the game. All right, so in good session 0-like form, let's cover the house rules. But if you don't want to know all that stuff, I'll put a list below, a link below in the description for where you can go to just start watching the adventure and skip all this other housekeeping stuff. So guys, I'm going to cover our house rules that we have. So in our house rules, we have, looks like 7 or 8 of them. Rule number 1, any action that uses a leveled spell slot can only be used once per turn. And this is sort of to level out with like rogues abilities only doing things once per turn and that kind of stuff. So for example, if a character has smite, and smite uses a spell slot, so you can only make 1 smite per turn. This just even out the characters, because last game we had some characters that were different powers. I'm trying to even them out a little bit. Drinking potions. Go ahead.
I had a question on that.
Go ahead.
So, not that it matters because we don't have a sorcerer, but if you had cast Quicken Spell and you cast a first level spell, and then, you could cast another, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Well, what this says is, yeah. So that particular case, that I'm talking about things that are not specifically spellcasting. I'm talking about actions that use a spell slot. So, for example, smite in that case, or if your characters have other abilities that expend a spell slot and do this cool thing.
Okay.
So, sorcerers are kind of special because they use sorcery points, so that's their meter to keep them in check.
I suppose. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I was just wondering.
Absolutely. This is why we do this. So second one is drinking a potion can be a bonus action, but counts as casting a level spell for your character. If you drink it as your action, you can cast whatever spell you want as your bonus action. But if you're going to quaff it as your bonus action, you can't do that and cast a leveled spell during the same round. Again, this is more like to keep everybody in check. So just keep that in mind, and we'll just revisit these as we go. For those of you who followed our Lost Mine game, I had a special disengage rule that we tried out. I liked it in some cases. In some cases, I didn't. So I'm just going to revert back to the regular D&D default disengage rules. It didn't really prove to be any benefit or not. So we're just going to go with that. During a move, you're only allowed to perform one of the following: climb, jump, or stand. And I'm doing that because it's very unclear how many jumps you get, how many stands or whatever. But if you take a dash action, you get a second one of those. That we had a lot of conversations last time about about what you can and can't do and how movement works. So we're just going to stick with that. Again, this is the pre-adventure. So this is that one. I think that's the one rule I might change. I'm just going to try it out for now. We use the recall knowledge option here, and I did a video explaining how we do recall knowledge. You can watch it. I'll put the description below. So you can go see that. But recall knowledge is a bonus action. I think there was some questions on that. Recall knowledge just allows you to ask questions about monsters and whatever. Still, as is before, flanking is +2 to hit, and you can trigger sneak attack with that. So, if you have flanking, you can trigger your sneak attack with that. That's fine. That's the same as having advantage, as it were. And then let's see, we have a couple more here. Dropping to 0 hit points gives you 1 level of combat exhaustion, and I want to be careful what that means. So and this is like regular exhaustion, except that all those combat exhaustions come back in a short rest. It's different than real exhaustion. So if you have 3 levels of combat exhaustion, 1 short rest clears them up. But it's more like more incentive to keep you from doing the yo-yo thing. So that's all. Let's see. Next thing, moving through an enemy square requires shove or tumbling through. You can shove aside, push them back, tumble through, that kind of stuff. That should be pretty fine. But the other thing is, if you have an unconscious enemy, they just become difficult terrain. Somebody lay on the ground. You don't have to shove them or do anything. You can just move through them. Or if they're tied up or whatever. As long as they can't do actions against you. And then in the last one here, if you try to move a grappled opponent, force move anybody. Basically, if you try to force move anybody with your force action, unless the effect, like for example, a Eldritch Blast automatically moves you. But if you were trying to move somebody with a grapple check, a grapple, you grappled somebody, you're trying to move them, you're required to just do another athletics check. I want to force you to move. They get another chance. That's just because last time we had people moving everybody all over the place. It got crazy. I'm just going to make it a little bit more controlled. So that's it. And so feel free to or tell us why some of those house rules are the worst we've ever done. Ream me out. Tell your friends. Yell at me. Give me all the comments you want. And actually, to be honest with you, I will answer all them in good spirit, and we could have a good discussion if you find one of those don't work. As is the case, as I tell everybody, all house rules are subject to change. We may just do something, and after 2 sessions, be like, that doesn't work for us, or it didn't work out, and then we'll just change it. It's fine. All right, so today's game, let's get started a little bit here. For today's game, we are joined by Graham and Mike. Hey guys, how you guys doing?
Good.
Doing all right.
All right, so Graham is returning with Flander O'Donnell, which some of you may have recalled seeing before, and we can cover more about him when appropriate. We'll kind of give you a little stat sheet and let him talk about himself a little bit.
I'd like to think he's back by popular demand.
Yeah, you have that feat, right?
I do, yes.
And Mike brings in a Shatter Kai, so that's going to be interesting. So we'll see how that plays. Mike always likes to play the strange character. He always likes to challenge me with. He's like, let's see what crazy I can bring in. So that's fun. I can't wait to try it out. All right. So I talked a lot. Let's kind of get things started here. I do want to say, for the sake of just helping with remembering for Graham, I'm going to do just a little follow-up of something that happened in the Lost Mine. Again, if you don't want to hear about that, you can always skip forward to starting and watching the game at any point. But I wanted to just get our players kind of up to speed. I wanted to let them know what's going on. So to help with this game, I'm going to give you a little short spoiler-filled reminder of something that happened in our Lost Mine that might be useful for Mike's character's background, and it just might come up. So spoiler warning on that, just so you know. Okay, so Graham, I wanted to remind you that in episode 15 of our Lost Mine of Phandelver homebrewed game, the party had entered the lost temple of Bashaba, goddess of misfortune. And do you remember that adventure?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you were trying to find an artifact for the spirit Agatha. The party climbed on top to the top level of the temple filled with keratin in the shape of deformed trees to find the body of Agatha turned into a statue of keratin staring at a mirror. So, and as the party approached the statue, the mirror came to life, revealing a portal to the Shadowfell. And tentacles reached out, dragging the monk of our previous game, Gashar O, into the portal. Gashar O fought against this, but being on the far side reached out and pulled part of Gashar into the Shadowfell. The rest of the party was able to pull what remained of Gashar back to the prime material plane, but Gashar was forever changed as part of him remained lost to the Shadowfell. The party then destroyed the mirror and returned the artifact to Agatha. So let's get started. You guys ready to get going?
Oh yes.
I have a nice introductory. At one point I did creative writing, and that was the undoing of all my players. So let's let the game begin. As the sun dips below the distant hills, casting a warm orange glow across the rolling landscape, you, Jaru, find yourself standing on the outskirts of Phandelver. The air is filled with a rustic aroma, a blend of earthy soil and the faint hint of freshly baked bread wafting from the local bakery. A soft breeze carries the distant sounds of laughter, clanking tankards, and the hum of daily life. The town of Phandelver appears before you like a forgotten tale waiting to be unraveled. Clusters of modest cottages with thatched roofs line the narrow, cobbled streets, where walls, weathered by time and hinting at the town's storied past, stand sturdy. Ivy tendrils crawl up the sides of the buildings, creating a mosaic of green against the rustic backdrop. As you approach the heart of Phandelver, the center square comes into view. You're kind of coming at the edge of the town now. In the center stands a weathered townmaster's hall, a structure of faded grandeur. Its time-worn stone steps leading up to a pair of sturdy oak doors. A circle of stones wrapped around an offering basin, a shrine of some sort, like a sentinel, keeps watch over the town's fortunes. You pass Barthen's Provisions, as you can see on the map. Its doors closed, but a light within, while its wooden sign gently sways. A collection of goods spill out onto the wooden walkway, from mundane supplies to intriguing trinkets that catch your eye. Further down to the left, the Stonehill Inn beckons with the flickering glow of candlelight filtering through its windows. The sounds of lively clatter and the occasional clink of mugs tells of a place where stories are shared and friendships forged over shared pints. The aroma of savory stews and hearth-baked pies drifts out from the inn, teasing your senses. As you gaze across Phandelver, you catch glimpses of the town's resilience. The townfolk move with purpose, rebuilding what was once lost. Amidst the quaint surroundings, whispers of a bright and promising future are ahead of all the citizens here. The town square has an obvious new addition, a circle of 6 stone statues all face each other, their hands reaching out to each other as they clasp. 4 of the statues look at 2 others, a small female tiefling and a thin but tall dragonborn. The dragonborn and tiefling just look at each other. It's somehow both somber and inspiring. Phandelver awaits your presence, Jaru, with its tales to be uncovered, mysteries to be solved, and the future that lies in the hands of those willing brave enough for its change. What are you going to do, Jaru, as you emerge at the edge of the town?
The town square?
You're kind of at the. I'm going to put you just in front of kind of where Barthen's Provisions are. You can kind of look down at. So,
I think that's where I am.
Yeah, put you right about. Yep, perfect. Yep. And what would you like to do? I'll kind of zoom in the map a little bit. Keep going.
Yeah, I will too. Well, it's coming on towards night, right?
It is. It's kind of like that early dusk. You can kind of see the glow. It's a yellow glow across the sky for you, quite spectacular and alarming. As Jaru, you are unsure what this overwhelming sense of color is from the place that you come from. Color is but blacks and whites with shimmering elements of purple if you're lucky. What would you like to do?
Yeah, he walks slowly through town, and he'll like stop and just look at the like the ivy,
Yeah.
maybe catching a glint, and just there's like this little bit of vibrant green in amongst the growing shadows, and he just stops fascinated by all these things. He is unfamiliar with the area, obviously.
Tell you what, Jaru. As you walk up just past Barthen's Provisions, you see in the distance, standing just in front of the smithy here, you can see a girl and boy. They would guess to be in human years, maybe 8 or 9. They appear to be playing with some sort of set of toys. Look like little knights and on horses that are all wooden and very roughly built. They glance over at you. What do they see?
So, Jaru is a very slender, looks to be an elf. At first glance, he's an elf, but his skin is very smooth, almost like a mask, and it is also, I don't want to say deathly pale, but like he's like more like an albino where there's just no color.
Okay.
His hair is kind of a grayish. Imagine dishwater that's been sitting for a while. After it's been used, it's kind of got that grayish. That's kind of his hair, and it's kind of wispy. It's not. It's not some of the other elves' flowing locks. His gray cloak and his clothes are all basically monotone. There's very little color involved. In fact, there is no color involved. It's gray, shades of gray, or black, or white. He's just under 6 feet tall, but he's very thin. He's not a bulky being by any means. He has a pack on his back. He also has a scimitar. Now, is the scimitar in his sheath, or does it hang like on a ring?
Well, you had acquired from the write-up that we have for your character. You had acquired it, and you have yet to pull it out of your sheath, but you can choose what to do with it. It's in a sheath right now.
Okay, in a sheath. So yeah, he's got a scimitar sheathed at his hip, and various books and pouches and things about him, little bags of whatnots, and he kind of has his cowl pulled a little forward, but he will put his hands out. Kind of non-threateningly, and slowly approach the children.
All right. What are you going to do as they approach? They look a little, I wouldn't say stunned, but they look a little uneasy as they leave the toys on the ground and stand up to look at you. What would you like to do?
Yes. Hello, children. I assume you are children. You look to be children.
Give me a persuasion roll.
No, yeah, that's not him.
What'd you get?
Yeah.
You rolled is that a natural 20?
Mm-hmm.
For a 19?
Yeah.
All right. You roll.
Like I said,
smile.
there's no saying.
The children at first seem a little put off by you, but then the girl smiles and points to you and says, "Why is your face like that?"
He actually self-consciously kind of gets a little deeper in the. What do you mean, child?
Well, it's all white. Are you an actor?
I can perform some things, more dance than acting.
The little boy looks over to you and says, "I knew it. You're a clown. That's what you are. I told you. Remember when the circus came last month? He's a clown. Can you dance and jump? Can you jump through a hoop like the clown did? And the little girl says, it was on fire. And the boy says, yeah, it was on fire. Can you jump through a hoop with fire?
So I will produce a minor illusion of a ring of fire, and I will try to jump through it.
Just give me an acrobatics check.
Can I do performance? I'm trying to do this.
Yes, you can do performance. Absolutely.
I mean, acrobatics would probably be better at this point, but
you can do it. I'll give you the choice. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, he attempts to do it. He does it, but the illusion disappears as he goes through it. So I mean, as a performance, it's not that great.
Well, the boy wrinkles his nose sort of as if he's unimpressed, and the girl, as you come to your feet, the girl looks over at you with that roll of 5 and says the other clown was better, and the two of them begin walking off.
Yes, I'm sure he was. Children.
She stops.
I have a question for you. What is the name of your little village?
This place? She looks around as if she's sort of surprised.
Yes, this place.
This is Phandelver.
A look of recognition crosses his face.
Where are you trying to go to? Because there's no one else around here. Well, there's the mines, and the boy says, you could send him to the mines. Those orcs are there.
Yes, that will not be necessary. This is exactly where I was looking to be. Thank you, children.
Can we go now? My mom needs me.
Actually, he turned around. He walked away from him.
All right, as you leave, the two children sort of playfully nudge each other to urge each other on, and they run south through the town square and farther on into town as the sun still begins slowly but surely making its way to sunset.
So he'll wander along. There's nobody else around.
There are people around throughout the town. It's noticeably busy here for a town that's sort of the evening is waning. You see a number of buildings here. You see more people around than probably should be in these buildings, and there are a number of carts. You see this town is sort of bustling. Parts of the wall are old and ruined, but you see new buildings and new signs of growth. You see where the old wood is blended with new purposed wood, and some of the shops are expanding. There's quite a number of people here for this small little village.
That's good. He's going to go towards the sounds of the tavern. He does need a room, so he will need to go to the inn anyways. So he might as well get that so he can set down his pack and all his other stuff as well.
You sense the sounds are coming from this little building right here. The windows are pushed open, and you can hear sounds of laughter and clatter within. The warm smells of baked goods as you near. Within the town, you can also see that there is some kind of a shrine here of some sort. It's a circular shrine. It's not really labeled, but you could give me some kind of a religion check if you want to know what that is. You also see here 6 statues that, and I'll move the map a little bit. What would you like to do?
I'm going to do a perception check just to see if I even notice the statues.
Yeah, give me a roll.
Or specifically which one of them are.
Sure. Give me a perception check. What'd you get?
Ooh, 12.
You do recognize one of the people. As you approach the circling what you will soon to know to be the Stonehill Inn, as you circle this building here, You look fondly over at these statues, and you see that one of the statues is that of Dragonborn. It is staring down at a tiefling, but that Dragonborn is oddly familiar to you. You see the image, the form, the shape, but in stone form of the one Gishar O. You are familiar with this entity. You know this entity, but you've never been to this town before.
Yep. He'll pat like a case that's like strapped to his arm. Nice to know this works. Excellent. I'm exactly where I need to be. He goes into the inn.
All right. You push open the doors, and as you do so, a woman passes straight past you, almost pushing you back out of the door for a moment as she tries to squeeze between tables that have been cluttered together. You look upon a field of moving faces, all laughing and chatting. It's an almost overwhelming sound as you burst open, but more so than the sound is the smell. It's rich and thick of food, and the woman who passes by you carries with her several pints of ale in each hand, clutched together. They ring around her fingers, and she walks past you and gives you a brief smile as she walks. She calls back, "Find a seat if you can."
Thank you. He'll make his way there. Is there any mirrors in the area?
Not in here. You could see a reflection possibly in the windows, but right now the outside is still light enough that it would be difficult. And there's of course plenty of places where there's brass elements and things like that where you could get a reflection, but for the most part you don't see like a steady mirror just hanging there.
All right. As he passes by some kind of maybe bronze pot or something,
Sure.
He stops and looks at his face, and he'll throw back the hood, right?
Right.
And he moves closer, and he touches his face, kind of in disbelief.
Give me a perception roll. Actually, give me an investigation roll. I like that better.
That's good. I rocket those.
What'd you get?
Well, 27.
27. As you stare, even through the warped visage of the brass, the brass pole, the part of the frame that you're kind of looking in, you can see your face, your form. It looks even. You have to get really close because it kind of stretches and distends as the metal wraps around. You lean in, and you can see your face looks. You look younger. You look more virulent than you were expecting, where before you had always had this sort of drifting, sort of almost unidentifiable face in some ways. You lean in and you see more lines, the edges of your lips, the edges of your around your face, the edges of your eyes. They're more defined.
Yes, I did not believe this was the case. I thought it was just stories. Very good. And he stands up a little straighter, with now his head is fully exposed. He's not trying to kind of hide his visage anymore.
Your face and
goes,
hands almost glow in the dim light as you kind of pull things back. And compared to everyone else, the people who are sitting here are mostly grimy. They look like they've been working outside or inside. They're covered in debris. Their clothes are old and drawn, but they are, of all things, colorful. Where you're used to seeing non-color, there are various shades of browns, and your eyes are so overwhelmed that you can actually discern the different levels of colors of browns between the fabric and the sewing material. Like you're seeing it all, and you're sort of overwhelmed by it.
Yes, it takes his breath away a bit. Just like a farmer's, brown leather tunic and sweat-stained shirt is just an amazing play of color for him.
Out of the way! You see this woman running past you, and she tries to squeeze past you. The back of her long ankle-length dress slides across your cloak. Your sword quivering a little bit as it gets bumped. And she slides past. She turns. She goes, "Get you a drink."
Yes, whatever's the locals drink, whatever you recommend.
There's a mead here that we brew. Get you that.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. She looks around. She goes, might be hard to find a seat. There in the back, there's one. She points way in the corner, a dark corner, sort of with a chair leaned up against the back wall. It might have been pulled out or misplaced long ago and we've forgotten tonight, because you do see some other people standing around tables that are clubbed together. They're leaning in and chatting about whatever they're chatting about. But it's so much, there's so many people here and it's so loud that individual voices become just awash in almost like a field of clatter and clamor.
Yeah, he'll go and take a seat and just start scanning the crowd.
Within about a minute, the woman comes over to you and she lays out the drink to you. And you don't have a table, but you do have the sill of the window beside you. The window is open and you can feel, though it's warm in here, there's a low fire burning, but it's summer and it's not really that hot. But just with the massive amount of people in here, it's warm. The windows are open and you're getting a fresh, almost evening breeze coming in. So the combination feels quite refreshing.
So he'll cast Mage Hand and just have it hold the beer like at a comfortable.
I need trick, she says, and she kind of laughs and walks away, though she doesn't seem to be surprised by it.
He wasn't trying to be anything with it, but it's just convenient because there isn't a table.
No, you just get the sense that this woman, though they're in a somewhat a provincial town, is probably not without. They probably have had wizards and things like that come through here, and she's probably seen this before.
Annoying warlocks, yeah.
All right. As you settle in, you can listen into the town as they talk about their business. This is a mining town. And you get a sense that though it is starting to boom, there are boons coming from the mines. You hear about a place called the Mountain's Toe Mine, which has recently had a huge find of gold, and it has been slowly filtering in through Phandelver, and the number of people that are coming from Neverwinter grows every year. For the last 2 years, the town has grown some 15% each year, so it's getting more and more crowded. In fact, to the point where some of what you would guess are the old folk, the people who here are the originals, the OGs as they were, you get the sense that some of them are put out by the fact that there happens to be all these new people wandering through their old town.
So basically, Idaho.
If you want. All right. With that, we're going to move on as you sit quietly in the corner enjoying the beverage, sort of eavesdropping in some cases. But the town is lively even for the sun slowly dipping in the west. We're going to move on to our other character, Flander. So, Graham, are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right. Flander, you've been traveling through Faerun for nearly 2 years. It's early evening. The stars glisten in the sky. The bright waning moon filling the trail with a low bluish light. The tiers of saloon following ever diligently. So as you look up in the sky, you see a moon, and following the moon are several broken pieces of the moon that kind of trail behind it. It's always been that way, of course, but now for some reason it catches your eye. Your journey has come full circle. Though your ultimate goal is to reach your friends in Tribor, Phandelver is along the way and better than sleeping on the hard ground. Besides, the last time you camped just outside Phandelver, you had a bad run-in with a most dangerous beetle. As the last of the days... What's that?
That sucked.
Yeah. As the last of the day's sun falls in the western sky behind the rising hills, a quaint town of Phandelver is washed in a warm golden glow, and the air becomes charged with anticipation. From the winding trail leading into town, you are a distinct figure, catching the attention of both the young and the old. They see you and they sort of stand and stare at you. Women and men together, each kind of taking a breath in, like surprised to see who you are and that you're actually coming into town. Mounted atop a spirited steed with a cunning smile and at a rakish angle and a cape billowing in the breeze, Flander O'Donnell, the renowned bard, has come home. Your horse, a black beauty with a sleek mane, trots proudly as you guide it toward the heart of Phandelver. You are a vision of flamboyant style, adorned in a kaleidoscope of vibrant garments that seem to defy the subdued tones of the town. Your lute, intricately carved and polished, is slung across your back, ready for the inevitable moment it will be called into action. As you approach Bartham's Provisions, the townspeople, initially engrossed in their daily routines, begin to take notice one by one. Whispers of excitement ripple through the air as the buzz of anticipation spreads across like wildfire. It's not every day that Phandelver welcomes such a celebrated guest. Flander! Flander! You hear the roar of the people all around you as they point.
And
you are just outside
Flander smiles and waves to everyone as he comes into town. Sort of sighs and just thinks, oh, it's wonderful they still know me.
Are you going to be at the end? Are you performing at where are you going to be at the end? I can't make it.
I will be heading straight for the Stone Hill.
Oh, I can't. We'll have to sneak in and see you. I'll have to sneak in. Good to see you. And you see one person walks by the horse, takes out a copper and throws it to you.
I will.
In case I don't see you later.
And I'll just catch it and give the man a smile and a wave and put the coin in my purse.
All right, as you circle down toward the Stonehill Inn, toward the pole where you can tie off your magnificent horse, a woman is also tying her horse off as you approach, and she doesn't quite notice, and your horse kind of moves closer to her, and she says, please, sir, and she looks around and she sees you, and she's, but Flander, you don't know who this woman is, but she knows you.
Okay, and I will dismount from the horse, but before I go in, I'll just sort of give her a nod and a smile, and I'm going to go over to the area where the statues are.
All right,
and just leave my horse over there, and I'll just look at them all, and linger on Gishar and Fortuna, and just look at the horse and say, "That's them, Fireball, the ones I was telling you about." And I just sort of walk up and touch both the statues and they're still missed. And just sort of step back and pay them a little homage, and then take the horse and then tie it off to the hitching post and give the lady a nod and smile. Forgive me, I didn't mean to crowd you.
She says nothing more, and she just gives you a polite half nod, and she makes her way, pushing into the Stonehill. As she pushes her way, and you can see beyond her is a wave of faces and hands and ales and shouts and cheers, and in a almost crowded field that you've ever seen in this place. It's just tons of people. This town, as you notice the Stonehill, you immediately begin to look around, and you notice that the number of people in this town has grown substantially since the last time you've been here. You were sort of lost in thought as you entered, in the reverence of times past, of years gone by since you've been here. But now that you've kind of settled in and had a moment, had your point, you can see that all of the town is very full. What are you going to do?
Okay, well, I'm going to sort of get over the overwhelming feeling of the numbers, and I'll look around. Is Tobin still behind the bar?
He is, looking just as young as he was before. A man too young to have actually owned a bar. He hasn't aged a day, and in Elven terms, that's quite surprises you, because these humans sort of go away like flies. But he is serving 3 people at once, as you see him taking a pitcher and pouring it across three glasses. smiling and having a conversation that you can yet hear. At the end, all the men and him laugh, and another woman beside him picks up a napkin and throws it at him, and they all begin laughing.
And I will stride up to the bar and just sort of wait until his back is to me, and then I'll say in an old familiar tone, "Tobin, a mug of your finest."
All right. As you do so, you call that out, and at first you see this head look up. He stares at, like as if he's heard something, like he's hearing things that he wasn't expecting to hear. Then he spins around, and he laughs. He kind of gives a bright laugh. He's Flander, my friend. What? He's lost for words. He's kind of mutters to himself, trying to circle and find something to say to you. By Tamora's grace, this is my lucky day. It's a pleasure, my friend. Come, drinks on me, of course. Come. And he grabs a glass from underneath the bar, slams it down, and fills it with the pitcher, what remains of the pitcher. What are you doing here?
I have returned. I'm kind of on my way to Tribor. I'm trying to find my old friends. And as he gives me the glass, I'll just sort of grab his hand and I'll press a gold coin into his hand and close his fingers around it and says, "A little gratuity for you and your wonderful wife."
No, you don't have to.
I know I don't have to, but I want to.
He gives a nod, and he very graciously moves his hand under the bar. You think he probably dropped into a safe box or something underneath there. Mm-hmm. And he says, "Well, I've not seen anybody from the old group here in a long time. You're the first one in several years."
Yes, the last I left them, they were on their way to Tribor, and I think I'll be heading over there.
Yeah, it's a ways away. It's a couple days travel. I think 3 or more. I haven't been to Tribor in a long time, but we do get people coming from there from time to time. But I've not heard any letters or heard anything from any of them. I thought Jorland's left last year back to join Ek. I don't know. She was leaving to go spend time with him, and she's yet to return. Her mother and her family are still south of here, and I see him on the every once in a while. And I ask him, and she has told me that he's married now to Jorland's.
Echankar is.
Yes, that's well. I don't think her mother would lie.
Well, I'm sorry I missed that. It would have been an honor to perform at his wedding.
Yeah, well, if you see him, tell him that we miss him here in Phandelver. There's always an Echankar for Phandelver.
Yes, he was a great man.
Yeah. Well, make yourself at home. If you want to perform, I wouldn't ask you though. I mean, I know you've been traveling. I've heard people come into town.
I just reach over, put my hand on his shoulder, and say, "It would be my pleasure."
Really?
Absolutely.
Then he kind of drifts off as you touch his shoulder. He raises his hand as if expecting you to want to anyway, as if preparing this whole time for his great announcement. He calls out, "Friends! I have great news. We are with the pleasure of Flander O'Donnell, the great bard extraordinaire, is going to perform for the Stonehill." And yes, he's going to perform the crowd just goes insane. The crowd goes wild. Hands, cheers, everybody yelling. Give me a perception roll, Graham.
Hey, perception.
So Jeru's head would snap up.
Yep.
What'd you get, Graham? The name.
Okay. Perception roll. Excuse me here. Gotta find all that. We go. Perception. And
all right.
I get
24.
24.
You have a +2 for what reason?
I believe I just took an
It says
extra
you're rolling guidance with it.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. So I'll just take the 23, but it's still a good number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
And that's okay. This is why we're restarting this game. This is the startup game where we're going to go through all the look works. But as you do so,
I shouldn't be rolling it.
looking across the crowd, you jump up on the stage to do a performance. And in the distance, in a corner, you see the strangest might be a stretch, but the most noticeable pale face. And it locks eyes with you. It's an elf. Kind of. Is it? And it almost distracts you for a moment. You start talking to the crowd to address them, and for a brief second you stop, and you see this person staring at you. This person knows you. This person knows you more than just by hearsay. They seem to have this sort of kinship with you that is strangely, it's not able to be described, but as if your grandmother's best friend came to see you, and they've heard all about it. So, what are you going to do? You're going to perform for the group?
I will indeed. I will
All
introduce
right.
myself. I'll start with a few little songs of where I've traveled and what I've been up to, and some songs that I've written along in the last 2 years, and then conclude the set with the tale that made me famous, the tale of the brave Sir Echankar.
And with a loud cry, give me a performance roll, but with advantage, because you're performing
Okay.
one of the town's greatest heroic songs.
Okay.
Greatest hits. No, Jesus.
What did you get?
31.
A 31.
That's the 31?
Just a 31.
All right. The town is almost weeping and crying at the spectacle. You see women and men sitting arm in arm, pulled with each other. You see shared friends with arms clasped over each other's shoulders. Everyone leaning in, on just wanting to get one more inch closer to this ballad of greatness. They are just aghast at everything, every word, every utterance. You sway the crowd as you, with the greatest highs of your songs and the greatest lows. And as you perform, as you finish the great ballad of brave Sir Echankar, the entire crowd cheers endlessly. The hat is being passed around. You see Toblin passing around the hat for everybody. And when the hat returns back to you, you see you've been given a massive 11 gold pieces from a small town full of odd
sweet.
coins.
Okay.
What are you going to do? Your night has gone. It's very late, and as you do so, when you finish up and you exit from the stage, as if the chime of time has rung, the masses of people stand up and begin filing out, talking about how late it is. They stayed too late, but it was worth it. And the massive, within about 5 or 6 minutes, most of the bar has emptied out, with just a few lingering people who probably are staying there this night. There, the door is left open. The night air freezing in. It is still warm outside, leaving you, a few people, and this strange elf. Is it an elf?
Yeah.
In the corner.
Who's just like stared the entire time. If you lock eyes with him during your performance, you would get just a little twitch of a smile and a slight nod.
What are you going to
But
do?
otherwise,
Flash?
he's pretty still.
You are given a room, of course.
Okay, so I have sort of registered that there is some kind of a kinship with this person.
Well, like I said, imagine like if you see somebody who is maybe your grandmother's best friend, and they've probably heard stories of you, right? And so they look at you fondly, or in a way in which there's familiarity, but you've never met them before, right? Like maybe this person has read some newspaper article about you or something, or who knows? But you're somewhat of a celebrity, and it's odd to be a celebrity, because being a celebrity means that more people will look up to you as if you're their best friend, and you've never met them. And in ways you've been resilient to that, but it sometimes takes you aback when you get that sort of odd sense. What are you gonna do?
Okay, I will casually approach the table, and I'll say, "There's something oddly familiar about you. May I sit down?"
Sorry, my cat just freaked out. by all means, yes. He's sitting like in a corner in a chair. We may move to a table.
There's room now. Let's do that.
He'll go over.
Table
He
is clear
sets
for you.
the he sets the mug down, and it's they do a pretty good job polishing and stuff here. But when he puts it down, the half that he'd been grabbing is tarnished. It looks kind of odd because none of the other parts of it are. By all means, yes. He's kind of looking you up and down. I was like, he didn't say you were a half-breed mongrel.
Well, half-breed may be perhaps a little bit harsh, but I am what I am.
Is this not true? Is this...
I am of half-elven blood, yes.
You were raised by your human parts.
Well, I was actually raised by my father, who is of similar extraction, to a point.
Oh, that is right. You breed true. Very good, very good. Yes, yes. Greetings. I am Jarukaguzian. And
Jaru.
I know you, and I know your name.
Well, then you have me at a disadvantage already. I
No,
know.
I just gave you my name. Why
Yes,
would
but apparently you do know more about me than I about you.
Yes. I have spoken to... He gestures outside towards the statues. Someone you know. I met him on the Shadowfell. For I am Shadowkai.
And am I to understand that you met Gishar?
Yes. He is the Dragonborn, yes?
Yes.
The statues. Yes. Yes.
Yes, and sadly he perished when we were trying to escape the Wave Echo cave when it fell in.
Well, at least part of him did. Part of him lived on in the Shadowfell. Though I am not sure if he's still there. He shakes his head.
These are strange riddles. Part of him in the Shadowfell?
Yes, apparently he was taken by one of the many dangerous flora that exist in the Shadowfell.
Yes, I remember the incident. When he came out, he was never the same again.
Just because he left part of himself on the Shadowfell as a shade. A very strange shade, as it was not... It was very oddly created. It wasn't a standard shade.
And
So it was very curious to come across this being. This Dragonborn are not very common on the Shadowfell. And I met with him, spoke with him. He told me much about you and your comrades. And I seek knowledge. I seek things. And I am here now in search of things. And I have found you. As the multiverse is a staggeringly huge place, yet can be so small at the same time.
quite so. And I mean, your timing is quite remarkable. I've been away from here for about 2 years, and I've been traveling all over. The chances of our meeting is, well, they're about as remote as the multiverse is huge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
So, what kind of things are you seeking?
I seek knowledge. I seek lost knowledge, things. I am a bit of a wizard, and I always collect magical things and stories. I do enjoy a story. particularly ones that are very emotional. And his face conveys almost zero emotion, right? He's just not very animated.
Yeah, well, there's quite an emotional tale of our loss of Gashar and Fortuna. They both.
Yes, that is Fortuna. Who is Fortuna? I know of Waif.
Well, the personage are one and the same. Waif,
Yes.
she changed her visage and her name along with it more than once. She never really seemed quite satisfied in any one way, but she was sort of a tough little thing, but once you got past all that, she had a heart of gold.
Yes, indeed. Tieflings can be strange in their naming conventions, yes. I've never known one, so it would be interesting to see one.
Yeah. Well, 2.5 years ago, I could have accommodated you there, but the closest we can get is her image in the town square.
Well, that is a shame. That is a shame, yes. I shall...
Yes, a lot of potential was snuffed out that day.
I know not of what you speak.
Fortuna herself, she came a long way from when we first met her.
Excellent. It's a shame I will never know. Very small smirk, much smaller than my own. I have a big mouth, what can I say? So he looks you over. Yes. Are you seeking the others?
That is my ultimate goal, yes. I will probably stay in Phandelver another day or two, perhaps, and then I will be on my way to Tribor. See if I can hook up with Echankar and Hemo.
His eyes twitch. Yes, Hemo and Echankar. Yes, indeed. Our paths seem to align at this point in time. Perhaps we can travel our paths aligned for now. I can be of assistance if things are always better on the road with accompaniment.
I quite agree. I've been on my own a long time. I would welcome the company.
Brad, give me a perception roll.
Indeed.
A 9.
All right. Looking at this person, they seem trustworthy and friendly. Like they probably have no ulterior motives whatsoever.
All right. Then yes, I would welcome the company.
Very good. You say you need more than one day?
Not necessarily,
Well,
but
we could certainly head out tomorrow.
we could head out tomorrow, yes. I had no other plans.
Excellent. It is late, and I have had a long road myself. I believe I shall retire for the evening. He gets up and extends his hand.
And I will take his hand.
Yeah, and you're
right.
expecting probably like something, because he looks ghost-like. You know, he has this kind of albino ghost-like. So in a way, you're almost expecting him to be cold, like almost undead-like. But he's not. He's warm. He's as much of a hardy entity as you are, and as warm as you are.
Huh. Yeah. Then perhaps that's a little bit surprising, but I'll go with it. Then we shall meet at breakfast.
All right.
Yes, indeed.
Is there anything else you guys want to do before you retire for the night?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go up to the bar and and if Tovin is still there.
He is. He's cleaning. There's quite the mess that you think they're going to have another hour. And as you were talking, you were constantly interrupted by someone walking around near you, though they don't seem to try to even eavesdrop on you. But they've been cleaning up the bar. You've heard the glasses being clinked together inside of the bins to get cleaned. And Toblin is there, and his wife is currently in the back, probably filling a basin of water to wash everything.
Right. Okay, and I will just ask Tobin, that fellow that I was just talking to, have you seen him here before?
No. I noticed him a little. He just sort of appeared there. I didn't even see him come in. He kind of looks past your shoulder over to you, Jaru, and you can see he's looking at you, and you get the sense that they're talking about you, but you can't hear them specifically. And he just kind of smiles to you, Flander, and says, "Why is there trouble?"
And I'll just nod and wave and smile.
Okay.
No, if he's certainly knew more about me than I knew about him, but he seems all right.
Yeah, he bought some drinks. He's all right by me. All right. Well, if anything happens, you need us. We're right back here, past the kitchen. You know where our room is.
And I will bid you good night.
All right. Well, I'll be up late, so if you still need anything, come get me. Otherwise, I'll see you in the morning.
I will do that. No, head up to the room. And
all right. The night passes without incident, unless you want to create an incident. Okay. All right. Given that, the next day dawn arises, and you are greeted by a warm, sort of glowing sun that darts amongst a scattering of clouds. You have your breakfast, and in good time, both of you have eaten your fill, and you are free to begin the day. Your horse has been stabled and has been brushed out and is waiting to be saddled.
All right. I will call one of the stable hands to help me saddle him up, and I'll get my saddlebags on him. And
right away, Mr. O'Donnell. Right away, Mr. O'Donnell. He runs up, and they grab the saddle and they put the blanket on, and they begin strapping him, bridling him up. Your horse kind of gives you that look like, who are these strangers and why are they touching me?
It's all right, Fireball. You're in good hands.
All right. As Jaru, as you walk out, you see that the horse is then brought out in front of the inn, and a stable boy is pulling him and handing the reins over to Flander.
Yeah. Oh, that's a very fine steed you have.
Yes, this is Fireball. Fireball, this is Jaru.
Fireball,
yes,
doesn't make, kind of glances over at you with one eye, doesn't make much any other indication. You're not sure how well he's understood.
No, but it does my heart good to treat him well. Do you have a mount, sir?
Actually, yes. He'll go and I'll be right back. Actually, no, never mind. That's not going to do anything. No, I do not have a steed. That could prove a problem.
Well,
can I purchase one here in the town?
I'm sure somebody must have steeds for sale, or at least rent. Go ask Tobin.
Yeah, head back in. And
all right, heading back in, you ask Tobin, and he smiles and says, "Of course. If you just go south along the miners' trail there's a couple of people who raise horses there. You'll see the horses sitting outside the fences. Just ask for one. I think they run about 80 gold."
80 gold for a horse.
Well, it's a mining town and kind of in the middle of nowhere. If you need a horse, it's kind of going to cost you.
Well, I will just make do as best I can.
All right. Are you gonna do anything more here in Phandelver? You just arrived and now you're departing. And at the same time, there's many adventures to be had, and it has been a long time since you've seen your friends.
Well, I'm a little eager to go and find my companions, so I will maybe drop in on one or two people.
All right.
Oh yes, I do want to go and have a word with Jorland's mother.
All right. All right. You find her in the morning. She is out with a group of people. They are doing wash. Jorland's, if you recall, she used to work with her mother. They do laundry for pay. So the miners pay them and they wash clothes, and then the miners they don't, after a day's work, the last thing the miners want to do is wash their clothes. So they pay somebody else to do it, and it's a good living. So you walk up to the edge of the small stream where they're washing clothes and hanging them from makeshift hanging lines that are strung between multiple trees. And she looks back and she goes, "Hi, Flander. How are you?" She walks up and she gives you this. She kind of pinches your face together. Now, you've only met her in passing a few times before you left town, but she's out. If you think Jorland's can be a bit overwhelming, so can her mother. And she makes herself known. She's a big, beautiful woman, and she will not take anything short of a hug. Mm-hmm. She pulls you in and gives you a big
embrace.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's good to see you again. Well, I'm kind of heading for Tribor. I would like to rejoin my companions. You remember Hemo, and I definitely presume you remember Echankar.
Yes. I'm not Bennett. I'm going to go to Tribor just next month. Next 1 month before it starts to get serious.
Before what starts to get serious?
You're daft, sir. She'll be coming on to 5 months now.
Oh my goodness.
I can't stay here. She's gonna need me the last 3 months. I have to go. But I'm trying to finish here before the summer ends.
I'll just kind of lean in closer. Am I understanding that brave Sir Echankar has truly shown his courage?
Of course. Oh, she's an honest woman and all. Don't worry about her. They've been married. They've been wed now for going on a year. I just wondered why it took them so long. But I'll be expecting. I hope it's a beautiful young girl, just like my Jorlands. I would love to have her around. But should it be a boy, I'll love it just the same. Though you won't get me out in the mines with him.
Well, are they living in Tribor?
Just north of Tribor. They have a small house. Echankar is part of the 12 there. He's sort of like a soldier of sorts. He just wanders the land on his horse like he owns the place.
Yes, he's
a big
like
deal.
Echankar.
He's a very important one. Mm-hmm. Well, they still call him Dragon Slayer.
Well, do you have an address by any chance?
If you just go into town and ask for him, I'm sure you find him. He's just if you take the road into town and look north, follow the edge of the autumn forest. That's a forest there, never turns green. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Follow the edge of that. There's up a little rise. Just gathering a house is there. You find him. Ask people.
Then I shouldn't have any trouble. Would you like me to convey any message for him?
You just tell them that they're in the process of doing something with their house. It's all disarray. It's crazy. Last thing I knew, they had part of the wall open. They're supposed to be creating a nursery of some sort, but they'd best have a bed for me when I arrive. I am not staying at an inn when my own grandchild is there in the house. I'll be there every minute of the day when I'm there. You let him know that. I'm serious.
I will let him know that, and I have every confidence that he will give you the best of hospitality when you arrive.
No, he will. He will. Or it'll be the paddle to his behind. She kind of smiles. She laughs.
Yes. Well, we'll certainly tell him that when we see him.
All right, then,
Good day
love.
to you.
All right,
It's
love.
good
You
to see you
be
again.
on your say. Be good travels, and please come back and visit when you have more time.
I will indeed.
All right.
And
All right.
I will mount up and on Fireball. We'll go off on a walk, and I'll say we can take turns riding if you like.
We would make better time, yes.
All right. You head off into the early day, riding off north, out of the Phandelver. It doesn't take you but a good part of a couple hours, especially you're kind of moving briskly. Even without a horse, you can make good time up the road. By the time the first night arrives, you've made good time across the landscape of the Tribord Trail. One moment while I bring up a map. Okay, so what you can see here is here we have the map of the Tribord Trail. You are just leaving Phandelver now. You know that Tribord is well beyond the place that you know as Connieberry. It's up past this direction here, so you'll have to pass that way. But it's about 2 days travel to Connieberry. You leave from the Great Crossing here, where Phandelver meets the Tribord Trail. Now both of you are well familiar with this road, and you begin your long journey down the trail. The first day you get about halfway down the trail, you manage to camp, and the camp goes pleasant enough. But it is early in the dawn when you are interrupted as you sleep. Who is up the second shift? Is anybody, or are you both sleeping?
It's probably me. I only need 4 hours.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. As you rest there, you can see that sitting quietly, you probably have a low fire. You can tell me if you don't. But you're beside a small gathering of trees, surrounded by. It's near a little. It's kind of as much water as you're going to find along the trail. There's these little splotches of water where they have little water areas. You've managed to pull out your water skin and fill them up for the road. The road now, you'll notice, goes up and down. It's kind of the swaying road. So your distances kind of get weird because you can only see as far as the rises and runs of the road. To your south are the mountains. They grow and rise into the far distance, where you can see the huge Sword Mountains rise up in these long, massive peaks, sort of bluish haze in the distance to the south. To the north, you can see the very edges of the thick forest of the Neverwinter Woods. Jaru, you're sitting there, and you hear movement just outside of the glow of the light to the south. Now, from your perspective, you don't get a good sense of it. You're kind of looking out toward the road to keep an eye out on anybody going, but there seems to be something coming up from behind you. You hear it.
All right. I will slowly stand up and turn around, and I'll kind of make my way towards where Flander is laying.
Sure. You make your way there, and before you reach Flander, you can see a hulking figure materialize from the rustling tall grasses with a primal grace that belies its brutish appearance. This massive orc warrior, you know him. You know what it is. You know it's an orc. Steps into the dull glow of the light. Its towering frame adorned with worn leather armor as it squints against the sudden emergence of the fire. Kind of emerges around the trees and wasn't expecting it. This coarse moss green skin glistens with sweat, evidence of recent exertion, as he grips a well-made bow. What are you going to do?
Look him over, up and down. You said it's a well-made bow, well used.
It is. Do you think, you're looking at the bow, it looks like it's very well made.
Yes. Do you speak common? Do you speak the common tongue?
He tilts his head and kind of looks at you, and he says, "Yes, I do. I saw the fire and I was going to investigate. But I was not expecting anyone to be awake this hour. But I see you are elf. You must come from the northern woods.
Yes, I come from very far away.
He doesn't seem to recognize you as being anything other than a variation of elf that he might not be aware of. He says,
Precisely so.
what would you like to do?
I'm going to kind of. I see you are well armed, and you are not making aggressive moves. So I offer you a place at the fire.
Alas, I can't stay. I am on the lookout. There are gnolls about. They have been traveling here and there throughout the night.
You said gnolls.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, gnolls.
Remind me, it's been some time since I studied prime humanoids. Remind me of the gnolls.
You must be from far to the north. I don't know if there's gnolls there, but these gnolls, they are about 7 feet tall dog men. They are born from the fallen of the various creatures, of dog-like creatures like hyenas. They emerge from their bellies. It's quite disturbing.
It sounds less than pleasant. Yes.
They travel with some strange goblin. I've seen it twice on the road, but I have been able to keep up with them. They move quickly. Gnolls are a tricky bunch.
Well, I definitely thank you for the warning. And as I make my way over to Flander, I'll like kick him, kind of nudge him with my foot.
Give me a perception roll.
Who, me?
I'm asking Jaru.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
What'd you get?
Oof, 6.
You look down at Flander and kind of nudge him, and when you look back up, this orc is gone.
I did not even get his name. So be it.
What would you like to do? Flander, you wake up kind of in a gasp as you see this stranger looking down at you, kind of nudging you with his foot. What are you going to do?
What? Just got eyes half open. What?
We had a visitor, but he is gone now. I take it the stories of orcs being brigands is overstated. Maybe he did not attack us, so
I'll just kind of sit up and stretch. He was probably one of the mountain stow orcs. I'm sorry I missed him. They were friends of ours.
Very good, very good. Glad. Yes, indeed. Well.
Yes, well, I mean, some of the orcs aren't to be trifled with, but the mountain stow orcs were actually all right. We did try to establish some trading relations with them, with the people of Phandelver, but it was tenuous. But I think we've managed to get them to an understanding.
Very good, very good. Forgive me for disturbing your slumber.
Jaru, now you recall when you were listening to the town talk that you think that Flander might be mistaken because they were talking about open trade with the Mountain Stow mines. So Flander might have his information correct.
Hey, we tried.
It seems you succeeded. Yes, very good, very good. By all means, please resume your excessive slumber.
What hour is it?
You have much time yet.
Do you want to get up early and start early on the day, or do you want to try to get back to sleep for the next couple hours? You're pretty well rested. You have all your spells, of course, memorized, and
yeah. Well, we could press on.
Very good, very good.
All right, you gather yourself together, perhaps have a quick breakfast, and head out on your way toward Connieberry.
So prior to prior to leaving, I will perform a ritual and summon a familiar.
All right.
And we're going to do an owl, as that seems to be the most familiar to Jaru as far as its habits and its everything. So.
All right. You summon yourself an owl. Now, Graham, you know that Flanders should be well used to people summoning owls.
His eyes would soften and his face would fall just a little bit, and just sort of look at Jaru and Fortuna used to do that.
I take it she was a wizard?
She was.
Very good, very good. Yes, they are very handy to have, yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. You anything else you're going to do in camp before you head out?
Nope. I'll just have the owls kind of circle around overhead, kind of.
All right.
It can alert me if it sees anything untoward.
And you will be regaled with tales of our adventures in Connieberry.
All right.
He pays attention. He might even break out like a notebook and take notes.
All right. Feel free to explore that. I believe it was episode 20 or 15 through 17 of the Lost Mine of Phandelver. If you want to go back and get that adventure firsthand. All right. As you're wandering through, the sun begins breaking open from the east. You're sort of heading into the sun, and it kind of, as you come up and down over the rises, it sort of blinds you momentarily, and then at some points you're actually in almost darkness still as you're rising up and down the hillsides. As you reach over a rise, you see a goblin standing on the rise about 500 feet away from you. The goblin is staring down on a map. He's holding a stick, and he looks around somewhat confused. You're about 500 feet away right now. And this guy, he sort of has a map of some sort, paper, and he has a stick, and you just see he's kind of like.
Yes. The orc that came into camp mentioned something about gnolls, and in the company of, and gestures, a goblin. Now, that of course does not prove anything, yet it is oddly suspicious that this one is here. I suggest we move with caution.
Yes, I think so.
All right, as you begin talking, even in low whispers, at 500 feet away, standing there on top of your mount, and I'll say Flander, you're on top of the horse at this time. You see that goblin snaps his head up and looks back at you, and is kind of surprised. And you see it begin running, darting fast as it can toward the south into the tall grasses. Just, what are you going to do?
Really, over goblins are seldom alone. We best be cautious.
I believe that is what I should, yes.
Okay. All right. You travel. Are you going to travel toward that 500 feet distance, or what are you guys going to do?
Yeah, I'll send my owl up ahead just to scout.
All right. Your owl swoops out into the night, looking around. It takes several long passes out in the distance, circling out farther each time, and then slowly works its way back in. What are you going to do?
Well, it hasn't alerted me to any hostile thing, so.
No, it has not.
I do not know. What do you wish to do?
You might be you're muted.
Sir, I can barely hear you. You must speak louder.
Well, as we've each pointed out, one goblin tends to become more goblins. If the owl is not alerting you to any danger, I don't trust goblins.
I've not dealt with their kind.
Hmm. Well, I would suggest we move on, but we keep looking over our shoulders.
Of course, always.
Okay. You go down the low rise and work your way back up to about the point where that goblin had taken off. You go slower, keeping your eyes peeled back and forth, especially in the lowlands.
I will take a look in that area.
Sure.
Just to see if I can spot anything.
I'll give you a
untoward.
perception roll. Go for it.
Or how about investigation?
No, perception.
Investigating. Oh, it's right here.
What did you get?
I got my character not on the thing. Sorry, I had to relaunch it. I don't know. It's like disappeared. Perception coming.
All right. Ooh, you got a 23. Good roll. Looking around, you can see it. You can see the trail that this goblin took. It kind of bounces back and forth, and it disappears, but well past your. Though it's not quite daylight, it's still kind of a mix of daylight and dawn. You can still see it kind of trails and spins, but it doesn't really waver too long, and then in the distance it suddenly stops. Like it travels and just suddenly stops. Like maybe the thing teleported or flew or something. You don't know. It just sort of stops.
All right. Well, let us proceed with caution. Yes.
All right. As you turn to move on, you see suddenly what appears, Flander, to the north, a sparkling wink of light. You see a delicate pixie, its translucent wings shimmering with iridescent hues, emerges from the depths of the tall grass. Floating gracefully on a zephyr, the tiny creature darts through the sunlight, weaving a trail of magic dust in its wakes. With a brow deep in concentration, the pixie hovers about the road, a fleeting, ethereal presence bridging the realms of nature and the mundane world. It stops, hovering some 15 feet in the air, and then suddenly is startled by your unexpected presence. And it stops and looks at you, looks down and looks at both of you. It says to itself, Bard, Lute, Smile. Wait, are you the savior of Dondu? Blessings of Titania.
I pull out the little pebble and I hold it. I show it to her. And did you give me this?
Me? No, but Dondu did. It looks, and these things are tiny, little bursts of light with little wings. And it's very difficult to see specifics, but it looks very similar to a pixie you had seen once before.
I said, well, any friend of Dondu is a friend of mine.
Ah, the moon shines bright for me, dear savior. Our village is surrounded.
Oh, where is your village?
It is Pixie Rise. Of course.
And how far is that?
Oh, it takes some time to fly there, but it's that way, and he points to the south. And you notice it is the direction that the goblin had ran. I have been following that smelly thing, but it won't leave.
What is the map that it has?
I don't know. It waves a stick around. Those vile dogs bark and howl all night. We dare not dance to Oberon's music, else they will find us. But we are small and they are not. Brave, brave savior, will you not come to Dondu's aid once more? Pixie Rise needs you. And she almost seems overly dramatic to Jaru's eyes.
How many of the goblins are there?
Oh, there's just one goblin, but
more
there's
importantly,
so many dogmen.
Yes, that's what I wish to know.
Yeah, they've been known to team up from time to time. Do you know how many dogmen?
Oh, more than I have fingers.
Mm.
And I have a lot of fingers. She shows you. She holds her hands up to you.
Indeed, you do.
Well, how far are we from Tribor?
You're a couple days away.
Because we could probably use some reinforcements. I wonder if... Tell me, can you fly to Tribor?
I can try, but there might be. I don't know. Where are the boars?
No, the city of Tribor.
It is far for a pixie. I do not think she would survive.
It looks at you, and it kind of looks kind of back and forth, and she says, "Is it that way, or is it that way?"
It is to the north. Are you pixies capable of sending a message to someone far away?
Sometimes, when I am in a grove, I hide, and then I can see my friends, and I will send them messages. But right now, I am distraught, for Pixie Rise is in trouble. We can't. Oberon was expecting our call, but we can't do our dance. And already we have seen one of our trees fall to the blue.
To the blue.
Yes. It has been that way for oh so long.
Now look at Jaru. Do you think we could take on a bunch of gnolls?
I have never faced these gnolls. I have faced howling demons from the abyss. I have fought many shadow fell creatures, but I've never fought gnolls. I do not know. Could be.
Well, just think of a giant hyena that walks on its hind legs.
I know not what a hyena is.
Well, it's sort of a dog-like thing with a thundering bad temper.
Is it like a hellhound?
Oh, it's not nearly as bad as a hellhound.
Well, then we should certainly be able to take some.
All right. Well, these pixies are my friends, and if they need my help, I am willing to give it. If you're willing to...
You will, brave savior. I knew you would. When I saw you on the road, I said, "There is the savior. He is the bard. He is the bearer of the pebble."
I have agreed to align my path with yours, so I shall follow.
Well then,
Oh my goodness.
take
please.
it to your village.
Come, we will go at once. But if I were you, I would be invisible because they will see you.
I can hide pretty well.
I am fairly stealthy as well.
Lead the way.
Are you gonna? She looks at you. She says, "Well, come," and she flutters. She flutters off about 25 feet, 30 feet. Then she stops, and you see her dart right into the grass. And she says, she tells you, "We must be careful."
So move forward stealthily,
Right.
kind of staying in the grass, and I look up at the horse. What do you propose to do with that?
Have it eat
Bring
the
him a little
owl.
ways
Have that horse eat the owl. You hear from the bush.
The owl is no threat to you.
Yes.
Yo, you say that now. They're silent but deadly.
Well, this one is on our side.
I promise you. It only appears to be an owl.
It flutters out. Appears to be an owl? Isn't an illusion? Are you a wizard?
I am indeed a wizard. It is no illusion, but it is my familiar. If you are familiar,
Good one.
Oh,
that.
you mean you have summoned it?
Yes, indeed. Indeed I
Oh,
have.
we pixies can summon.
Did you summon the dog creatures?
No, but
Maybe you
we're
could
afraid.
unsummon them.
Wish we could.
What can you summon? Perhaps you could summon something that might aid us.
To be
in
fair,
aiding you.
when we summon it, we don't know what we're going to get. It's a trick of Oberon. It depends on how well we dance. And if he and Titania are having a spat, he may be mad at us, and who knows what we'll get.
Chaos.
And they say we mortals be fools.
Oh, they are fairy. They're flighty at best.
Yes, we fly and turn invisible, and she turns invisible.
Indeed.
Oh, problem solved.
And then she turns back visible. But we can't make our home turn invisible. And Pixie Rides needs you. All right.
Well,
Okay.
lead on.
All right. She flutters off.
We're following you. You stopped.
She flutters off and keeps moving. She pulls you. She moved quite quickly for being a little flighty thing. You think she moves faster than you can actually walk. Not a whole lot more, but she keeps tugging you forward. And you see as you get close, she seems like she's talking constantly in chitters, but she's so far ahead of you and she's so tiny, you have to lean in almost to hear her, and you can just barely make it out. And as you move, she says, and there have been here for moons upon moons, from sliver to sliver, and oh, we have no dance, and oh, sad Oberon is so sad that we have been hidden. How will he ever forgive? And then she flutters off, and then she gets closer. She seems to be in this constant tale of woe.
Is it a tale of sorrow?
It could be. It could be.
I shall take notes of her tale.
All right. As you approach a rise, and it is early morning. You see the forest, this grasslands rise into some forested area, and then you see two tiny spires of rock that kind of extend for quite some time in either direction, with a crack right where you're standing. They appear to be about 50 to 65 feet up in the air, these rocks, and there are crops of trees that are on top of the bluff. Beyond the wall, through the crack, some 40-something feet back, another line of rock rises up. This appears to be the beginnings of some broken lands. You are right now about 100, 200 feet away from the ravine, from the rise. What would you like to do as you approach?
I will go into stealth.
As will
Be
I.
as stealthy as possible.
All right. You are as stealthy as possible as you climber in. Why don't you each give me a stealth roll?
Oof.
What'd you get?
14.
14. And what did you get, Graham? What does Flander have?
Stealth 22.
22. Okay. That's not too bad. Okay. As you near the tree line, the trees quickly thin as you approach the edge of this forest. It's not really a forest. It's more like groups of trees all over the place, kind of scattered about. The brush underneath you is anywhere from knee to higher thickness. Now, these pixies don't have a problem because they just float above it. But you walk through, and you definitely have wet ankles and from the grasses licking against your legs. All right. As you emerge from just around the forest, you're about 40 feet or so as the trees start giving clearings. Give me a perception roll, both of you. All right, what'd you get, Mike?
18.
Nice. And Graham?
I got a 12.
All right, Mike, as Yaru enters from the south, enters from the north, and my map is actually upside down, so you're actually going to be going south, so just keep that in mind. I sort of just did that incorrectly, but I made it. What do you want to do? As you're entering from the bottom edge of the map, you're actually coming south. You can see ahead of you this broken rise and these trees in the distance up on the top. Jaru, you swear you hear voices and a yipping.
I shall hold up a Well, I can't. I can't actually tell where he is, but I'll whisper quietly out. They are near.
All right. Graham, Flander hears him say that from beyond the trees. You're just on, you don't know exactly where the whisper's coming from, but you do hear it echoing nearby. So as you move through the trees, you can sense that your companion has told you they are nearby. You don't sense them.
Okay.
Are you going to move forward?
I will move forward. Everything on high alert. I will slowly bring out my crossbow.
All right, Flander. I'll put you on the map, and Jaru, I'll put you on the map, and then we will go from there. All right, Jaru and Flander, you can see yourself at the bottom of this map. You can see as you peek out, there's this creature that's sitting right there. Beyond, as you peek out, you can see beyond the grass, you can see two more of these creatures sitting there. What are you going to do? They seem to be smelling. They go, and they're,
I still don't know where Flander is.
I would guess that you would know by now. You've been talking, you kind of whispering to each other. I'll say you know where he's right next to you.
All right. Do you wish to parley with these creatures?
They generally don't do too much in the way of talking.
So we are merely attacking?
I don't think they're going to be unhostile. If we can take out one or two before they...
I shall do my best. And he actually draws the scimitar.
All right.
For the first time.
Let me explain what happens. As you draw the scimitar, you are trying to remain stealthy. Suddenly, something happens. Let me find the spot. All right. You draw the sword from the hilt. The sword rings once, sing, low and dull, and within the blade, you can see a small leaden shard that has been embedded in the blade itself. You know about this. You've seen the blade before out. Once fully drawn, the embedded shard flares once with a dull, low purple hue before settling back into its inert state. It is then that you hear firmly from the sword. By the Raven's Queen, it's been too long, Ragnorius. Wait. Who, by Orcus' demise, are you? And with that, the gnolls look. Oh, you're him! Hands caught in the proverbial cookie jar, Jaru. Stealth. Sheath me and put me back at once. Wait! Where the devil are we? This is not the fortress. What a gaudy, grotesque, overwhelmingly colorful display of overindulgent design this place is. You had better answer quick, else by Vecna's good eye, you'll suffer the queen's wrath. Thief! 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 Roll initiative.
Okay.
Stealthy you may be, but your sword is not.
All right, we're gonna use the initiative tracker for the first time. So, at least for me, I've used it. So we're gonna bring that up. If I can find where it is, initiative tracker. There we are. Cool. Let me roll. All right. And Graham, if you want to give me a roll, I'll move that over.
Jesus. Oh,
I rolled well.
20. Nice.
I'll put it up here for everybody. 25.16. That's a floating number.
That's a nat
right.
20.
Yeah, good job. So let me sort this here. I got to see how I do this. I believe I sort it like that. There we go. And Flander, you get to start out as you're going to have sneak, but suddenly you hear this voice bellowing out from the sword, most annoyed. All the gnolls look over and they grab their spears and their weapons and things and begin running toward that sound. Flander, what are you going to do?
Yep, definitely hostile. I'm gonna whip up my crossbow and shoot this one.
Give me a roll.
I rolled 11.
All right. Well, if you were trying to make your amp go to 11, that'd be awesome. But making an attack at 11 falls short. In fact, it goes wide.
Not so much.
Sails over the top of the knoll. You might have been distracted by the fact that this sword seems to be making a mockery of your friend. All right. Your weapon goes wide. Ching. You have a second attack, I believe, as a bard. Is that true at a certain level, or you only have one?
He's not a swords bard.
Okay. I didn't remember. It's too many classes.
I think you're a lore bard, aren't you?
No, he hasn't.
Yes, I'm a lore bard. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, cool. So
pretty
Lord
sure
Bard
that
is okay. Your one attack goes. Let's go next. Zaru, it is your turn. You see this knoll, it kind of goes flying over the head, and you're looking at the sword like, what the hell?
I muttered to it, perhaps we can discuss this later. We are in danger now. And I'll pull it out and I'll start the blade song on it.
Okay. Oh, you just wave me around like you own the place. I see. What does your? Oh my word!
Shh. And then I will also cast greater invisibility.
You suddenly find yourself, Flander. You find your friend has left you. He doesn't really, all this greatness, and how he seems so obviously emboldened to help you and support your friend. He decided to just simply vanish.
And then, can I move stealthily?
Can you move stealthily? No, because you have to take an action to stealth now that you've been alerted. So you can move, and they still will get disadvantage to attack you, but they have a reasonable chance in these tall grasses to know you're there.
All right. I will still move forward.
Yeah, you're not a rogue, so you don't get like a cunning action or anything.
Yep.
All right, so you move forward. You kind of suddenly the grass parts, Flander, and you see the grass move as you see this form just traveling through the grass, just something parting the grass, like some divine entity. All right, that is you, and now the gnolls get to go. All right, this one here is going to run out. That's Jaru. You get a chance to make an attack of opportunity if you so choose.
I do choose.
All right, it runs past you, running toward you with its spear.
All right, so, and since I'm invisible, I get advantage.
You do. Yep.
And I am going to cast a cantrip, Booming Blade.
All right, you have the feat to allow you to do that because you have Warcaster.
Correct. I believe
right,
that's. I'm pretty sure that allows me to do that.
Let's double check. Let's take a moment, and because I don't remember all of the feats, it also doesn't help that I play Baldur's Gate 3, which gives me all the wrong information.
Right.
So it's Warcaster, right?
When a hostile creature's movement provokes an attack of opportunity from you, you can use your action to cast a spell at the creature rather than making an opportunity attack. The spell must have a casting time of 1 action and must target only that creature. Well, it's a weapon attack, so yeah, it's part of a weapon attack.
Yeah, you're gonna make a booming. You're casting Booming Blade.
Right.
Yeah, go for it. Yep. All right.
Well, nat 20.
All right.
I don't have to roll my third
20,
one.
hitting him. You strike into this creature. What did you roll for damage?
So, oh my God. So for the Booming Blade, 26 points of damage. And then...
You roll a 26 because I see 16. So where did you get the other 10?
Because I crit.
Oh, you crit. Yes. I forgot about that. Thanks for telling me. 26. Yeah. All right. You slam into it. And then what?
And then we get 6 more. Wow, that was a shitty roll. 6, 10, 13 more points of damage from the sword.
All right, striking into this thing, your sword cuts into it. As soon as it hits it, a thunderous roar emits from all around you. Graham, Flander hears this. Kaboom! The booming part of the booming blade striking off. This knoll being launched back 5 feet, never getting a chance to getting close to you at all, as it lands, dropping lifeless onto the ground. Boom! You hear these knolls like. All right, that was its turn. These other ones are going to go. This one here looks at Jaru, or looks at Flander through the brush. Flander, you are still in the brush, and they don't quite see you, so they're gonna have a disadvantage to hit you through all, basically like you're hiding. So they're gonna make their attack on you. Boom. It draws its weapon and fires twice at you. Its best attack with his longbow is gonna hit a 17.
That will hit.
All right, striking into you, it fires. It's going to hit you for 6 points of damage. Even firing with disadvantage, it hits you one time. Fires twice, hitting you one time at disadvantage for 7 points of damage. This other one here is kind of a little confused on what's going on. So it runs to here, 30. It runs to the edge here, sees its companion down on the ground, and decides, well, that's not good. And it doesn't see Jaru anywhere, so it's going to back up and fire at Flander. And now, because it's not around that brush, does not get disadvantage to hit you. You're considered undercover though, so you're going to have your minus 4 to your armor class, or minus 5 to your plus 5 to your armor class.
I was about to say minus what?
I was doing the math. I was
Fire.
doing the math. All right. So, which I'm subtracting from my roll here.
Yep.
So, he fires twice at you. It disappears into the brush. These other ones here, this one here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It runs out to here, having its long sword out, scanning the area, spying you through the brush. It's difficult to see you. You're in a lot of cover. 13 plus 17 again. So one of them hits you.
Okay,
even with minus 5 to your armor class, they still hit you.
Plus 5 to the armor class?
Well, I'm minus 5 for my die roll. It's just the same thing. So
okay,
I rolled an 18. I see 13 plus 4 is 17. All right, so he's going to hit you for 6 more. This one here decides he's going to run it with a spear. He's like, screw that cover. 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. I believe they go at 40. I'm going to double check their speed. Their speed is 30. So he's going to move to here, and he's going to chuck his spear at you. He's going to throw one spear at you, but it's going to be difficult to hit. Oh, of course, I rolled a 19. So that is with minus 5, that's 14 plus 4 is 18 total. That's going to hit you. The spear is going to hit you for 4 more minimum damage. That brings us now to Flander. Flander, they're coming at you from all directions. They don't see Jaru. They're literally targeting you.
Okay. And
what are you going to do, Ram?
okay, I am going to cast Dissonant Whispers
Which one would you like to cast Dissonant Whispers on?
on this one here.
All right. Unless it's,
Okay.
let's see, what is it a wisdom save?
Hang on here. And I will just post that for you.
Got it. Okay. Wisdom save. Yes. I rolled an 18.
And that will just make it.
Crap. Do I have on a save? What happens?
Okay.
Target takes half damage. Give me the damage.
Okay, so that's 3d6. So So he takes 5 points of damage.
All right. All right. He takes 5 points of damage. Boom. He's a. All right. Nobody here speaks Knoll, I take it.
No.
All right. Hi, you never know. Okay. All right. Flander, you cast that spell. Is there anything else you want to do? You have a bonus action and a movement.
Okay. Okay, as a bonus action, I can't see Jaru right now, can I?
No. So you can't
Okay.
give him Bardic Inspiration, I don't think.
No, I cannot give him Bardic Inspiration.
Nor can you heal him.
Nope.
But you can heal yourself.
I was going to say,
Again-
how are you looking?
I'm down a bit, but I'm not the worst I've ever been. But I will.
Yeah.
I will cast Healing Word on myself.
All right. Healing Word has been cast.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are you going to move at all?
I'm going to take another step back into the bush and try to hide again.
All right. Give me. You have not taken any action, so you can jump back in the bush and get and hide. Now, because they're staring at you and you're through heavy cover, I'm gonna give you a disadvantage in your hide roll. What is your hide roll?
Okay, my hide roll.
Oof.
What did you get? Okay.
11.
Okay. All right. You jump back and you try to hide in the woods. That brings us to Jaru. Jaru, you are now dancing through the grasses, invisible. You know that they might be able to track where you are, but you also know that you're gonna have a great advantage to hit them.
All right. Oops. I will take that 5 foot step to there.
Yep.
And I will attack once. And then I will cast Booming Blade again.
So
As
you're-
my second attack.
Okay.
So the first one is just an attack with advantage. Turn on advantage. 17
That will hit. Yes.
for 12 points of damage.
Got it.
And
It
then
looks-
I will.
Yep. Attack it again. You're gonna cast Booming Blade to get a second attack.
Yep. So I will hit again with the Zinin. 24, I'm assuming hits.
That will hit. Yes.
And then for Booming Blade, only 4 points. But for the sword hit, another 10.
All right. You slice into it. There's a little pop as you strike it. And you hear a voice as you hit it. It says, "Oh my wood, you're being so disruptive." All right, and when the weapon glides right through it, and the sword as you cut through it, you hear the sword say, "Ah, that's the spirit." And at that point, you see this creature drop.
And then I will move to here.
All right, perfect. That brings us to the knoll.
So yeah, you're just seeing these things explode.
Yeah. You see those things go real quickly. At that point, this knoll is going to run 10, 15, 20, 25. He runs to here. But you think, I believe, even with that terrible roll, they don't see you. He doesn't see. He runs. He's gonna get a. But he did seek you. He sees you now. But that was his action.
Okay.
This one here runs up to you, and yeah, they have their wisdom is not great. So they basically run up and they both see you. You're standing there now, but they had to find you. This one here is going to also run, which is going to give you an attack of opportunity if you want to take it, Jaru.
Yep, and we will do Booming Blade again.
Nice.
And I'm gonna crit fish here and just do one at the normal. Not a crit. 18 though.
Okay. All right. You hit him.
So 10 points of thunder damage.
All right, good job.
And 11 points of Zinin damage.
Oh my goodness, you didn't kill him. I was quite surprised. But he does. So Blooming Blade, if he moves, he takes additional damage. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yep.
Did he move?
Yeah, he does because he actually you did just hit him, right? I'll give him. I'm gonna give him a wisdom save to see if he stops. Nope, he keeps moving, so he's gonna take damage.
Takes another 6 points of damage as it explodes again,
and that will drop him. He just doesn't. He wasn't wise enough to understand what was exactly happening. He got hit and he didn't know what the effects were, so he just kept running and it exploded. All right, that brings us to Flander. You see these two rush up on you. They have spears in their hand. They kind of look like this, and their eyes are locked on you right now.
I'm going to cast Thunderwave.
Boom! All this thunder. Go for it.
Oh,
Okay.
we're loud motherfuckers.
And I'm going to cast it at the 3rd level.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's 3d8 damage.
Okay. What's my saving throws?
Okay, your saving throw is
17.
Constitution. Yeah, Constitution 17 or better.
Yeah, I fail completely.
Okay.
Both of them fail.
Okay, so that's 3d8. 23
Oh
points
my
of damage.
god. No, nearly max damage. Holy shit. Dude. Boom.
They both go flying back, and they both land beside their companions, completely dead. Boom. And you hear from the distance, you hear a bunch. You hear some chatter from beyond here. You don't think that these were the only ones. There may be a few more. What are you going to do? Let's stay in initiative right now. Jaru, what are you going to do?
If I hear them, I will. Let's see. I can move up to 40 right now.
All right.
So I will move to there.
All right, I'll move the map up, and we'll remember that Flander is back there, and I'll reveal what you see. All right, as you look across, you can see a number of these creatures. Staring out in an encampment of some sort. You see, looks to be maybe more than a half a dozen of them, with a couple of tents. And you probably could see bad in there as well. Let me kind of clean that up a little bit. You moved to there. I think you still have an action.
I don't see any pixies or anything in the area, right?
You do not, and that other pixie had sort of vanished as you got close by here. She might be in the way. You don't know where she's at, but you don't see any pixies in the immediate area.
Well, let's see.
What would you like to do?
I am going to cast Fireball.
All right. Can you draw out the fireball and where you want to do it? Just have it. I think you can call it linger. They put it linger as a square, and you can draw it out with the markers. And then I think, if I remember right, you can tell it to. I gotta remember how this works. With the new way they do the squares.
Are we doing the center of the square for measure origin?
Well, it's going to be it's a 40 by 40 foot square, right? Because it's a fireball. So you can do it however you'd like. You can do it however you'd like to show me. There you go. And just make sure it says broadcast to other, and make sure it says linger under fade delay. That way, you can let go. But I usually do it from the corner. But however you want to do it. You can also do it from the center if you want. like this. Like,
Why is it not?
but yeah, what are you trying to do?
Well, it's 40 feet, right?
Yeah, it's a 40-foot square. Yep.
So if I go 20 feet in that direction and 20 feet in that direction.
You want to get those 4? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Doing your fireball at those 4. I will make saving throws. What is my targeted save?
Where is my save DC? Let's go to there then.
I'm pretty
16.
sure. I'm pretty sure. Nope. One of them made it. This one here made it. The rest of them did not.
All right. 28 points of damage.
All right. Boom. Then you do that. You see that this knoll is brought to its knees. It's in a. This one here does the same thing. Boom. This one here is, you said 28, right? Did you say 28?
28.
Oh, I apologize. I did that. They're not exactly dead. Almost dead. They burn too easily. They're almost dead. Let's see. I was thinking of them as being normal gnolls, but they're not quite normal. And then half 28 is 14.
Mm-hmm.
Math is hard. Okay. Oh, that's hard. All right, and this one took the full 28. That's a great. Okay. Boom. All right. The fireball goes off. Graham, Flander can hear the explosions. Boom, 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 boom. Jaru, you hear above you on the rocks above here. You hear the tiny voices explode. Oh, so loud. Oh. And then she looks and sees one that kind of like getting blown back, and she looks this little fairy thing that's sitting right there. It just kind of smiles, goes, oh, and then she disappears. You think that fairy might be pretty close by to you right here. All right, that brings us to turn order. Brings us to the gnolls are going to go. All right, you are still invisible, right?
Correct.
All right.
This is third round, right?
Yeah, they you hear them say something, yelling out in all directions, looking around, unable to see you. Let me do a roll here. Ooh, terrible rolls. Oh, that's better. And one of them yells, no. I'm not sure how he saw you, but he did.
I sees in the grass or something.
Yeah, this one runs down. These other ones are a little bit kind of confused. They're just following their friend, but you know how they're looking around. They're like, I don't know where you're talking about. This one here also runs forward. I gotta see if he sees. He does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It runs to there. This one here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Let's see if it's gonna notice where you're at. Oh, it definitely sees where you're at. It's gonna stay there, and it's going to it shouts out a command. This one here moves 5, 10, 15, 20 to here, and then moves specifically over to here. And this one here is going to run in. All right. After this one yells out a command, this one takes a bonus run to here and attacks you with disadvantage. My worst though is only 14.
Yep, not close.
Yeah. So it's firing. It's kind of spear. It's just running around. You're just kind of dodging in the invisibility. Choo. All right. I'm gonna put another character on the board here. I need to roll initiative for it. All right. All right, let me bring him on. All right. From the tent comes a goblin. It wanders out of the tent and looks around. It sees you there, and then promptly turns invisible. It sees the something over here. It looks back over here, and then suddenly just goes. All right, that brings us to Flander. Flander, all the way back down here. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to move up to. Okay, I can move up to here.
All right. Is that 30 feet or whatever?
That's 60 feet. So,
all right, that you ran. Hustled your bustle. You have a bonus action you can take?
I don't think so.
You can give
no bonus action.
All right, no, nothing else you can do. All right.
I don't think so.
Okay. That can end your turn then?
That will end my turn, yes.
Okay. Jaru. You see Flander come running up next to you.
All right. Highest roll is what is that?
What are you trying to do, sir?
I'm attacking. Highest roll is a 19.
Yep, that hit definitely.
All right. So for 12 points of damage, I'm doing the one obviously right in front of me.
Yes.
And then I will strike again with the booming blade.
All right, go for it.
I suppose I should hit first, huh?
Yeah, please try. What do you get?
Well, I got a 26.
Yeah, that thing is going to hit, definitely.
I'll crit I'll fish for a crit. No. All right. And then booming blade was 7 points of damage and another 8 points of damage from the sword.
All right. Looks like it's severely injured, but you did not kill it.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom. All right.
And then I will move to here.
All right. You're darting around that knoll. Knolls get to go. All right. You're gonna check on them. All right. They Flander, what weapon do you have in your hand right now? You have your crossbow?
I have my crossbow, yep.
All right, so it's going to move to here. It's going to flank you. They're flanking you. That means their disadvantage is there, but they have a +2 to hit. So the knoll is first of all is going to attack you with disadvantage. Terrible first attack. Terrible second attack. The other one is going to attack you. Terrible first attack. Disadvantage sucks for me. And I've been rolling like 2s and 3s on other dice. They both unable to hit you with that attack.
That one moved?
What's that?
That one moved?
Yeah. So you're going to do
he's
damage
going
to
to take
it?
his booming. Yeah, he's going to take his booming.
Yeah.
He gets 11 points of thunder damage.
That will kill him. Nice. Boom.
So he takes a step and
Right. They don't seem to be all that. They're not exactly dumb, but they're not exactly. They have a little. Yeah, they're fairly wise for the most part as far as common creatures. They're not like have a 5 or something like that. But you think that these other ones they're yipping and yapping at each other. All right. This one runs down 5, 10, 15, 20. You're going to run to here. A natural 20, but the other one was a 3. And a 2. That one misses you. Nice. And then this one is going to move down 5, 10, 15, 20. It's going to move to here. And it's going to throw. It's a hunter. It's going to use his longbow and fire twice at Flander. Flander, you are kind of surrounded behind some of his other friends, so you do get light cover.
Mm-hmm.
Attack you twice. Let's see here. Oh, both times missed you. All right. This one here, I got to check because he's the one who did it before. Ooh, it does recharge. This one here cries out. And this one here, I don't have the map set correctly. That was terrible. I'm sorry, everyone. You can mostly see, but there. This one here cries out. And this one here, it does another bonus attack. I got to double check to see if it gets one attack. I think it's just one attack.
And not at +2.
Yeah. Incite Rampage. Okay, yeah. Got it. So he's going to attack you. Nope, does not hit. All right. Sorry, everybody, that I didn't get the matchup set correctly on that one. That was my fault. I had to move up and down, and I didn't do that correctly. My apologies, everyone. Okay, that brings us to, let's see. This guy has got to go. He is going to give an attack. He's going to fire at. Let's see. Has he done his thing yet? Let me see if it's ready to go. It is not. He moves to here. He moves all the way over here, and he begins yelling out. And with that, why is it? Oh, I see. With that, he's going to allow that itself to make a longbow attack. It's going to make 2 longbow attacks. And he's going to fire at Flander. Wow, I have not rolled above like an 8 in this whole round. That happens.
Oh, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and now that goblin gets to go. Scrolling down the goblin. All right, he's gonna do it with disadvantage. He has to do it with disadvantage. Mike, Jaru. Ooh, I rolled 2 1s on that one. That was really bad. Oh, that one might actually hit. 13 plus 6 is going to be 8, 19.
I took a reaction. Have I taken a reaction this round?
I think you already attacked that one who got booming blade and moved.
Yep. Okay.
Right? Did you do that? Is that a reaction?
Yep, that's a reaction. So I don't have shield.
Okay.
I don't have a reaction.
All right. So he's going to fire at you. You are hit. Boom! By an Eldritch blast. When you are struck.
Those are not fun.
He can target an invisible. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's an attack roll.
Yeah, and it's a disadvantage attack roll. And so you are going to be hit for 3 plus 7 is 10, plus 4 is going to be 14, and you are going to be knocked back 10 feet.
Okay.
Oh no, let me double check because I can't remember if I did that right. I think that's right. Nope, you are not knocked back by 10 feet. I thought I forgot that I had changed that. So you are just taking the 14 points of damage.
All right.
And it promptly turns invisible, just keeps remaining invisible. It is now your turn, Flander.
Okay, and I'm going to cast mirror image.
By the way, I will say that blast came from up here. If I can get the right map layer, that blast came from up here, not from over here. You saw that, Mike.
Okay.
So clearly, and you can probably see that this thing is somewhere targeted over here. You could probably target it just with disadvantage. Go ahead. And what are you going to do, Graham?
Okay, I'm going to cast mirror image.
All right.
With 3
You
duplicates.
cast mirror image on yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
And I want to use my little pebble. I don't know if I can do that on a bonus action, but
Well, does it mirror? Well, what does mirror image do? It gives you disadvantage, right, to hit you.
illusionary duplicates. The duplicates move with you and mimic your action. Yeah, whenever they attack, we roll a d20.
Okay.
And there's 3 images, and It depends on the roll, but they'll
Okay.
hit one of the duplicates instead of
Got
me.
it. So yeah, you can't use, you can't use the pebble as a bonus action. It would be considered
Okay.
a level spell.
Right. Okay.
But or like an action to do, but you could do that or cast mirror image. It's up to you.
I'm going to cast mirror image.
Okay, mirror image it is. You have mirror image put on you. I'll give you a little thing there to indicate you are mirror imaged. Boom.
Right.
And I'm gonna have to double check the map that we are actually up and running. Okay. This is part of the learning again how to run this game after being and not running it online for a while. All right, that brings us to Jaru. Jaru, you are not been knocked back. I made that mistake, sorry. And you are ready to do something. What would you like to do?
All right.
You could probably target that creature. You just have to do it with disadvantage.
I am going to Misty Step.
Got it. Is that considered a bonus action for you? Right?
That's a bonus action. Yeah.
Go for it.
And so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's going to move to there, and then he's going to move to there. And he is going to cast a fireball. Basically, it's 40 feet, right?
Yes.
So 40 feet in all directions, or 40 feet?
I believe it's
40
a
feet
20. I think it's a
across.
20-foot radius. So 40 feet is the
yeah,
corner to corner.
So, and I'll be able to, I'll target it right. Do you see that moving around?
Yeah, you want to go from that corner right there,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it should
so
hit. It should hit all of them, right?
See, well, it's what you do. It's from it's corner to corner. So it doesn't. This
So
is
that's
like
15 feet. That's 20 feet there, and the others, yeah, those should hit all of them.
those are the ones you can get. So you won't be able to get this one, but you'll be able to get all the. You won't be able to get this one, but you'll be able to get all the other ones. Perfect.
Which one?
This one here.
Which one? I don't see which one you're pinging.
Yeah, I'm trying. Oh, because I'm on the wrong layer. It's this one here.
I won't get. That's fine.
Yeah. But you'll only get the other ones.
Yep. And I will cast it at 4th level. I'll upcast it.
Okay. Boom. Oh, nice job. All right. What is my saving throw?
16.
Got it. All right. That one made it. Ooh, made it. Oh, all of them made it.
Wow.
Might not,
24
might not.
points.
What's that?
24 points of damage, so 12.
Nice. Well, after me rolling 2s and 4s for endless amounts of time, having a round where I actually made something isn't a bad deal. 24, you said?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that was a hard math problem there. Yeah, you did a lot of damage, these guys, though. That is for sure. This one actually dies. It doesn't matter. He just ends up burning up. The fire blast goes off. He was hit a couple times already from you. And the other ones are severely burned. You see their flesh and their hair is all burned off. Did I hit all of them? That one. 24, you said? That one is also dead. Boom. I'll try to zoom in a little bit, make it a little bit easier on the map. All right. Boom. Awesome. That brings us to. Are you done, Jeru? I'm sorry.
Yep. Oh yeah. That's
a good spell.
Lots of actions.
That's for sure. All right, and the Knolls get to go. All right. I think this one here is going to run to here, and he's going to attack you, but he, of course, has disadvantage when he does so. Oh, good thing, too, because that would have been another bad roll for you. Nope, that doesn't recharge yet. So this one here, he's going to yip. He's going to move 5, 10, 15. Oh, he can't move there. 5, 10, 15, 20. He can run over to here to get you, so he's going to get you because he won't be able to reach the other one. Unfortunately, he has to attack with disadvantage. Oh, he's finally going to hit you with a real weapon. Oh my goodness. Are you going to do something?
Well, I will cast shield.
All right. You cast shield. Boom. Okay, let me tell you what armor class he hit. He's going to hit 23.
24.
Nice. Your shield goes up.
Oh, man. Also, I take half damage until my, because I misty stepped. So until the start of my next turn, I take half. I'm resistant to everything except psychic.
Yeah, nice. So you are, well, you didn't get hit though. That's good. Boom. He missed you, right? Because you have 24 with your armor class, right? Boom. All right, perfect. These guys here are going to run. Boom. And boom. These two are going to here. And they are going to attack you, Graham.
Mm-hmm.
One hit. 3 hits this time. That's that you see them walking around and they start spearing at your newfound companion that you just met.
Okay.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. They do more damage. Let me change that up. Let me go to the real one and bring that up. And they do one.
Okay, well, hold on.
Yep. What are you going to do?
We have to roll a d20 to see if they hit my images or...
Yep. Let's do that. Thanks for reminding me. So as you are blur, or you are what do I roll to see if I hit you?
Okay, yeah. It's I need a 6 or better. Since I've got 3 images out. So.
3 attacks. If I tell you if I rolled a 6 or better, I did roll a 6 or better. So 1 hit you, correct?
No. If actually it's I roll. If I get 6 or better, then they hit the image and not me.
Oh, okay. So it's a defensive roll on your part. Okay.
Yeah.
So they hit. So if you get 6 or better, they hit the image and not you.
And that's a 16.
Okay. Good.
So they hit an image.
So one of the images vaporized when you hit it, right?
Okay. The image has an armor class of 13. So if they hit it, then yes, that image disappears.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I guess he hit it.
Yep. So now that you have 2 more attacks left, and now what do you need to roll?
Okay. I need an 8 or better with 2 images.
Got it.
And that's another better than an 8.
Nice. So boom, boom, boom. 2 images go away. Nice. All right. And what do you have? 1 more?
Yep, 1 more, and I need an 11 or better.
Come on. Yes. 16.
Nice.
Okay.
All 3 of your images go away, but you saved 3.
Yep, but I am not hit. Yep.
Your friend, Zaru, you see your friend become many and then become few.
And then become 1.
That's a nice trick.
All right. Nice. Boom, 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 boom. All right. That brings us, I think that's all there. And then I have to see what this other guy is going to do. He's the tricky one of the bunch. Right. I gotta see what this does. I can't remember what this thing does. Bonus action. So he can't do that, but he can do it to Graham. So he's going to do it to Graham instead. Graham, you get a savings throw. Your savings throw is... I got to see which one it is. I think it's a wisdom save. I don't like that they don't just list it on the box, just like wisdom. You know, in the old ways, they used to say like whiz 10, like they have it in now they have it in the description. Right. That is just so ridiculous. On a save, okay, what save do I make? The target must make intelligence save. Give me an intelligence save.
Okay.
Oof, that's not a good one for
Oh, not good. Not good.
All right. You're going to take
it's a critical fail.
6 psychic damage.
Ow.
And it's going to be a lot. It's 14.
Oh.
And you can't take reactions until the end of your next turn.
Ooh.
Moreover, on your next turn, you must choose whether to move, an action, or a bonus action. You only get one of them. You have been mind thrusted.
Ow.
Boom. All right. All right. That brings us to, I believe it is now. Flander, it is your turn. You can do one thing and one thing only.
Okay. I'm going to take out my pebble and put blur on myself.
You're right. Yeah. And you hear from up here, you hear a little voice go, as you use the pebble once given to you by most likely this pixie's companion. All right. That brings us to Jaru. What are you going to do?
All right. So I am now normal. I don't take half damage anymore.
Okay.
I'm going to. Are either of those injured?
Yes, this one. They are both injured. They both been injured. These are pack leaders, but they have reasonable amount of hit points. But you've got about halfway down.
Okay. Well, I will start on the one on the left.
This one here. Okay.
And then let me roll it with advantage. 25.
25?
And then
it will definitely hit.
Definitely. For 9 points of damage, and then I will cast Booming Blade. So I will make another attack,
All right.
and that will be 24,
24 does hit.
and then 8 points of damage from the blade, and then
All right.
and then 15 more damage from the Booming Blade.
All right, that will take it out. Boom. Nice job. Boom. What are you going to do next? You done your attack? You done your second attack?
That'll do. That'll do for now. I'll stand.
All right. It is what few Knoll hunters remain. This one chirps out. You see he's kind of wavering, quivering. All right. That brings us to it's going to grapple you. Give me an athletics check to get grappled.
Do I can choose
I think you can
athletics or
choose either dexterity or strength for getting grappled.
15? Do I get that with advantage or?
Actually, I don't know if invisibility gives you that. Let me double check. I do not know. You can feel free to look it up as well, because I don't remember if it does or not. You have to tell me. Let's see, invisibility. Is there a condition? Condition invisible. All right. An invisible creature is impossible to see with the aid of magic or special senses for the purpose of hiding. The creature is heavily obscure. The creature location can be detected by any noise it makes or any tracks it leaves, etc. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and creature's attack rolls, so it has no effect on your strength check. So you roll a 16, right? All right, so you are grappled. It grapples you, and now it's going to bite you. That is going to hit you. I rolled a, well, you can determine, I think you have a reaction still. You want to put up a shield. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll put up a shield.
All right. Same thing. I actually hit 23 again, but your 24 does negate it. All right. It tries to bite at you. Its teeth just bangs, rubbing on against the shield as it explodes around it. Nice. That brings us to these two here. Get to go. And I only have I'm running low on baddies. Now you are blurred, Graham. So now I will attack you 4 times, but all of them with disadvantage. Missed. Missed. Oh, double ones again. And that disadvantage is crushing me today. And I have been rolling really badly with that disadvantage. All right, and then finally, that wizard is going to Eldritch Blast you. That creature right here, standing right there, it boom, boom. It's going to fire twice at Jaru. No, I think I might see if I can do something else. I think that's what it's going to do, but I want to double check to see if there's nothing cooler that I could do. No, really, that's pretty much what he has. Disadvantage attack. Ooh, I rolled a 17 and 16, but you still your shield is still up, right?
Yep.
Okay, so he's going to miss you, and he's going to miss you. All right, good job. That brings us now, as fate would have it, back to Flander. Flander, you are shimmering in the morning.
And I'm going to cast Thunderclap.
All right, which one are you gonna thunderclap? Which one are you
I
giving
can
the
get them
clap?
both. I can get them both. Anything
get a
within
saving
5 feet of
throw?
me. Yeah.
Saving throw?
Yeah, 17 or better Constitution.
They will both fail. How much clapping do you do?
Okay, 2d6.
You're gonna clap them off. Boom.
That's 7 points each.
7 points each. Ooh, it does not kill the first one, and it does not kill the second one either. And it did not register the hit point change, so that's even worse. Let me change that. Okay, there you go. Boom! You give them a clap. They take the clap, but they as they linger forward, searching for their penicillin. All right, that brings us to Jaru, grappled by this Knoll Pack Lord. He's just holding you firm.
All right.
What do you would like to do?
As a bonus action, so as a bonus action, I can magically teleport up to 30 feet.
Okay.
Basically, Misty Step.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you can. I think you can Misty Step while you're being grappled. Yep.
All right. I'll just basically Misty Step to the other side of him.
Okay.
And then I'm going to attack.
All right.
Oops, I'm on the wrong thing. And then, well, 23 is my highest.
That did hit.
For 11 points of damage.
All right.
Still up.
Yeah.
I will cast Booming Blade and attack again.
Got it.
And then just one. All right. 22 is my highest.
That'll hit.
So, wow, nice. 14 points of damage and then 8 points of thunder damage.
And it will perish in an explosion. All right. Do you have any more actions or actions to do?
I'm going to move. Actually, 40. I'm moving back down to here.
All right, Flander, you're going to get an attack of opportunity if you'd like to take it. You have a weapon in your hand that can do an attack. You can also try to punch him if you want.
Yeah, I think I'll try to punch him. I've got my crossbow in my hand, so I don't think I can do a melee.
You don't have
attack
a. You have a way. You have a. I don't even know. In D&D,
I do have a sword.
Are hands considered weapons to threaten with? I don't even know.
Yeah. Well, I think it's an unarmed attack that.
Yeah, I don't even know if unarmed attacks any because we've been playing Pathfinder for a while now, so now I get all my rules confused. Let me see. But this is why we're playing these games, so I can reacquaint myself with all the rules.
Right.
Let me just look up unarmed attack real quick. Unarmed attack. Yeah, they didn't tell me anything. Check real quick. Instead of using a weapon to make melee weapons, you can use an unarmed attack. Blah blah blah. A hit, an unarmed strike deals bludgeoning damage equal to 1 plus your strength modifier. Got it. So you can attack him and do 1+ your strength modifier if you so choose.
Okay. I will do that. 'Cause why not?
All right. Well, you have two choices: this one or this one. They both look pretty bad.
Along here. Okay, I'll do this one.
All right. Go make your attack.
Okay. And so I
Just do an attack.
Unarmed
Yeah.
strike,
Just do
yep.
regular. And if your weapon has a +1, just subtract from there. Or whatever.
okay. All right, so just
It's just
Chris,
a
you got your
D10.
gauntlets of ogre
Yep.
power or whatever.
yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and that 20.
All right. How do you eviscerate this person with your bare fist? What do you do to this guy?
Okay, well I just haul off and punch him right in the solar plexus, and it finds a weak spot, and my hand just sort of vibrates in the looking still blurred. It goes in and then just comes out and pulls out anything vital so that he just collapses.
It goes, drops, collapses to the ground. Boom, dead.
I just gotta look at my hand and go, I didn't know I could do that.
This one here is unfortunately going to take off because he's not going to stick around with everybody else dead. You may choose to chase after him. Let's see, where's he going to go to? He's going to take off down here for anybody following at home. He is way down here at the end of the map, right there. All right. That's what he's doing. Mike, you get a sense. You can see that this area here that is up here where this goblin was. You see there's some shifting, and then you no longer see the grass is moving. Instead of the grass is just kind of fold in. As you think the goblin used an ability to probably hide.
Okay.
That is it. That brings us to Flander. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna try and shoot that guy with my crossbow.
Really? You're going to just gang up on him? This poor...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, whatever. You know, if you want to be a sore winner, go for it.
Okay.
What are you going to get there, bud?
19.
That's going to hit. How much damage do you do?
Okay, I do 5 plus. And he has to make a saving throw to avoid
It
being
doesn't
poisoned.
matter. He has 2 hit points left, so I'm not going to bother wasting the time. But
Okay.
normally I wouldn't do that, but it's getting late, and I want to get to just wrap up this part of the adventure for us, so that we can move on. So yeah, you basically split his rib cage from the backside. Would you shoot him with your hand crossbow?
Yep.
It just spirals down. All right, Jaru, what are you gonna do? As I move the map back up.
All right. I am going to move up to here, and I'm going to seek. I'm going to take a look and see if I can
give me a perception
something.
roll. Go roll high. I guarantee you, this guy's got a pretty decent high roll.
How about a natural 20?
Oh, yeah, you did. That is awesome. All right, let me go back to the lair and put him out on the. Well, I guess you don't really need. He is technically invisible, but he is right. If I can see, is he showing up on the map here? I'm going to see if it shows up on the map. Not really. Let me move the map over a little bit. There, you can make it a little easier to see. I should be able to see. There you go. So he is right there. He's moving invisibly through that area.
Okay.
Nice roll.
I still have a bonus action, yes? Because
I
seeking
don't
is
know.
an action.
Seek is an
Seeking is an
Yes.
Okay. Well, I will Misty Step. Is he like roughly right
You're
there?
actually on top of him, so can you move 5 feet one way or the other? I don't care.
All right.
There you go.
I will Misty Step to there.
All right. You Misty step right to there. Got it. All right. Zaru chasing him down. That brings us to his turn. And well, you killed all my gnolls. I don't know how to feel about that. But I'm gonna let it slide. That's between me and my therapist.
You knew the job was dangerous when you took it, Alan.
Yeah. This here, he's going to use his final and last spell against this area. He's going to cast Lightning Bolt. Right here. And anybody who's along the line here, nobody happens to be there. I believe you give me a dexterity base save. Give me a dex save, please.
Yep.
16 is what you need to get. Come on, make it. Oh, you made it. What do you get the +4 for? Let's see what it says.
Blade Song.
Oh, nice. You made it. That is awesome. So you're going to take some damage here, but probably not too much. Got to see what even the spell effect is. Unfortunately, they don't have a link to that. That's fine. Let me just look it up real quick.
I made my,
Major save.
more than likely.
You did. It just doesn't tell me how much damage it does. 8d6. I thought it was that, but I get them confused because Fireball and that are so close. All right, let's do 46 twice. All right. 8, 11. So at half damage, you take 13 points of lightning damage. Not too bad. All right, and it's going to hide again. We're going to see if it beats your passive. Yeah. What is your passive? I'm pretty
14.
sure. Yeah. Unless you had something exceptional passive abilities, he's going to beat it that time. All right. Takes off and passively is trying to avoid being detected, trying to get out of here without you finding it. All right, what are you going to do, Flander?
So I take it Jaru is still invisible.
Yeah, he's still invisible. You saw a lick of lightning rage across from one invisible creature to another.
Okay, well I will.
Did you make your concentration check on being hit?
I did.
20, 25, 30.
I think it's the only time I hit you, right?
No, you hit me once before.
Oh, did I? Okay.
20. Okay, we're going to move to here and try and hide again.
No problem. Give me your hide check.
Okay.
What do you got?
22.
That's a good hide roll. You jump underneath the crop of trees, trying to hide yourself. Nice. Jaru, what are you going to do? This creature seems to be intent on trying to get out of here. What do you want to do?
I'll call out to the thing. If I see you again, you die. Flee for now.
All right. You're going to let him go? All right. As you call out, he's going to not try to retaliate. He's not going to try to say anything, do anything. As you wait there silently for a moment, you suddenly realize that you have indeed defeated these creatures. I'm assuming that you want to look at the tents. As it's getting late, we'll kind of wrap up this mini session here and give you a little bit of wrap up so you get some closure. I don't want to leave it lingering for a couple weeks. So, all right, you go ahead and you go to these tents. These tents have nothing really of value except about 6 days of hardtack food that you can take with you if you'd like, and about 6 days of water. You can take that with you for both of these tents. Roll the map up a little bit. However, in this blue tent, it's a little more luxurious, and inside of the tent has a nice little couch, like a little chair that they probably were carrying around. You also find a weird rod, like a stick of some sort.
Is that the one he was carrying before?
Yes.
All right.
You also find a piece of paper in here that is stuck in the fold of the chair, and I'll describe what that is as soon as I have brought it up on my sheet here. All right, what you see is a picture of the current location that you're in the foothills of the Sword Mountains. You see, there's a number of places that have been X'd out, like with some type of ink, like a pen and quill pen, and you do see a quill pen and an ink here as well. There is a cartographer's kit in here, if you would like to take. So there's enough stuff to make a cartographer's kit. And you find that's what you find on it, on the area here. What would you like to do? So it looks like there's a whole bunch of stuff.
I will cast Identify ritually.
All right, you sit down and start casting Identify ritually on the stick. Mm-hmm. Stick is indeed magical. And what you think the stick does is this stick, however, it is cast with a spell that will soon fade. It is fading as it speaks. You think it's a spell that's cast on it for about 24 hours. It is enchanted. When you have this stick, it actually gives you a bonus, gives you advantage for using divination spells. But however, you think the magic is going to fade soon.
All right.
You think it was probably
toss the stick aside.
All right. Looks like a Y. It looks like Y shaped.
Like a divining rod or whatever.
Yeah, like a dowsing stick. But
yeah.
all right. And once you defeat him, suddenly from above, and I'll bring my map back up. From above here, right here, you can see that the pixies begin cheering, and a half dozen pixies come floating down. Oh, thank you, my friends. Thank you for all you've done. Would you like to come and dance with us? Dance with Oberon so that we may gain his joy once more?
We would love to, but we have a very important appointment in Tribor.
Oh, I am so sorry to hear that. But for you could stay with us and dance. For we have our good tree, not the blue tree, which is now bad, but we have our good tree now.
Well, what time of day is it?
It's early in the day still. You got up and
okay.
moved, so it's only about 9 in the morning.
All right. Well, yes. Thank you for your invitation, but we must go.
Well, thank you so much. Oh, well, let me read my description from the thing I wrote. Thank you. Oh, thank you, our savior. The little creature lands down. I am Thistlethitch. That's the one who talked to you. And she says she spins around, and a swirl of pixie dust follows her as she rises to the air. Oh, since you have been so gracious, allow me to give you Titania's grace as well. Let it carry you forward. She dives into the grasses and plucks out a little, not much more than a weed, a little flower, but more than a weed. And she gives it a caress, like with it. She puts her face in it and kind of caresses it all over her face. And then she swings it around. And when she does so, the flower just kind of ropes around, and then she touches it, and when it glows faintly with yellow for a moment. And she hands it to you, and she's going to hand it to Flander. Flander, she takes this gives it and gives it to you, and she says, "Let this be the word of Titania's grace. Carry it with you, and should you ever need it, it is yours."
Well, thank you. I shall treasure this.
As you should.
And
I suppose they didn't see me do anything.
I will just tuck it into a little fold in my armor.
And should you ever wish to dance Titania's dance and be in Oberon's good graces, come back and we will all enjoy this together. You are always welcome in Pixie Rise.
Well, thank you. Your hospitality will be welcome.
All right.
We must be on our way. Farewell.
Right. You spend the last little bit of time speaking to the pixies, giving your farewells as you pull back from the little grove and the little rise of rock, which has been called Pixie Rise. and head back out. You find your horse grazing in the tall grasses, lingering about, sort of distraught. Jaru, as you walk back, the briefly and momentarily silent sword speaks again. It says to you, as I roll up and find the spot, well, that was what I'd call adventurous. Now, are you going to take me back, or what are you going to do?
Yes, I will take you back. However, we are trapped momentarily here on the Prime.
Trapped in the Prime? Are you? I cannot believe this. I am Zanan. I am one of the 13 swords of the Shataris, heirloom to House. I can't ever remember your name now. Karagusian. Heirloom to House Karagusian. And now, my trite little thief, you soon will be unwritten from your family's inheritance for this action. Do you understand? I'll be the first to tell your father what you've done.
So be it, but if you do not assist me, we will never get there.
Yeah. You raise a hard bargain. Well, for now, I'll let you carry me, wield me if you will. But keep me out of the light most of the time. My God, is it bright out here. By Orcus's nose.
Jaru will clean the blade off on the body of a gnoll and then sheath him in the sheath.
As you do it, he says, no. You put it back in.
And now say, you told me to take you out of the sun. There.
And with that, we will close out our mini adventure as the rest of the time you head off to find Tribor, to find adventure, and to try and find your friends. And after these mini adventures are over, we will begin back again. Thanks everybody for joining us for this this introductory adventure where we got a chance to explore again D&D with my friends, and we're able to introduce you to Jaru and get reintroduced to Flander in their new ninth level form. We'll be back with them in a few weeks, but in the meantime, we're going to be doing 2 more adventures with other members of our group. So there'll be 2 more adventures with 2 people each. So they'll each have a little group, and then we'll get together and begin the actual session 1. So subscribe, let us know down below if you like this idea, if that's going to work for your group, and or what you might do different to begin your campaigns. Until then, you guys have anything else to add?
No,
that was great.
All right, thanks a lot. It was a lot of fun, and I think that Flander and Jaru are going to cause a lot of trouble together, and I better get to work because they're going to need more.
I'm
powerful
counting on
enemies. All right. Until then, you guys have a great night, and we'll see you back here next week with 2 more different players. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.